And me, Cecil B. Trumpington. I'm here too. I'm just helping, I think. Fill them up. I'm Cecil.
Cecil.
You think that's funny, don't you? It's Cecil.
Cecil, please. Are you kidding me?
Cecil.
Cecil.
Cecil. Nope, we're stopping right here.
All right, I give up.
Oh no, it's not good.
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
Look, you're going to get me into awful trouble.
Let's not make a habit of this, shall we?
Freshly returned from Lave Station, the studio is a hive of activity. The room is full of contraptions, tables, boxes, and all manner of paraphernalia.
Flossy?
Yes?
I can't get on my seat. There's a big box with your name on it in the way.
Oh, don't mind that. Just my exercise bag. Just push it over into the corner.
Okay, I'm going to have to ask this question. Why have you brought an exercise bike into the studio?
It's leg day. I mean, we'll all be getting our legs out on Monday, and I want to make sure mine are all toned and ready.
And over in the corner there?
That's the cross trainer. But he's only pulling that face as I skipped our session earlier in the week.
Right, own up. Who put the disc sander in my chair?
Sorry, that one's mine. Pedicure.
Harry, would you please stop doing lunges, especially in those shorts? That is not something anyone wants to see.
But I've got to look my best.
Look, we've got a guest in with us this evening, and we need to make the place look presentable. Oh, for goodness sake, Juan! You do not need to start waxing just before the show. And what's that leaning up against the wall? It looks like some kind of cryo chamber.
Sorry, that's the tanning booth. These legs haven't seen the light of day in nearly 6 years.
Right, that's it. I'm not talking to any of you anymore. It's legs and this and feet that, and I've had enough of it.
You're just sore because you're not allowed to play.
Well, it's not my fault that due to my heritage they decided it's not safe. It's racist. No Scottish people are allowed to go outdoors on Monday. Just because we're a bit blue and it takes a week of sunbathing to go pink. Actually, that's a lie. I go straight to red. But it's just not right. Apparently, they've banned all of Hotbox from going down to planets just because some of us might be Scottish. That's racist, that is.
Oh, I'm sure it's for your safety. We'll send you a postcard.
I said it already. I'm not talking to you.
But it's probably a good thing anyway, because it is, Flossy, a good thing, because our mics are actually live.
That's been recorded.
Seamless.
And on that ever so seamless note, good evening, and welcome back to the studio. Yes, we are all safe and back from all the work in Lave, and we're quite excited about next week.
Except me. I am so not excited.
Except the apology officer, who's sulking.
I'm not sulking.
You are pouting a little.
We do have the usual crew in the studio tonight, plus a special guest presenter. Welcome to the studio, WKJezz.
Thanks for having me. I hear it's leg week. I brought the spare Firemaster with me.
Oh, I haven't seen one of those in years.
Oh, so you'll let him have a Firemaster, but I can't do my calisthenics?
Oh, so that's what you're doing. I thought you were having a funny turn.
Okie dokie. Right, that's enough of that. Time to put our feet up and...
Oh, now you're just taking the mickey.
Best foot forward.
Oh.
Right, the headlines. Things that go boom in the night.
Mad Monk monkey business in Epsilon Eridani.
Lacon's ugly duckling is beautiful on the inside.
The Major General's major expansion.
Space. Go social.
Ingenuity's interesting inclusion.
I'm talking about a big election.
And I'm going to clonk you with this pan if you talk like that.
This is the Hutton.
And Cecil seems to be off again. Yes, it's the news. First, tonight, in their latest rush to combat the antics of the Frameshift bandits, the Pilots Federation have been hard at work preparing the new planetary surface training simulators ready for next week. Hot on the heels of their reveal of the first batch of equipment, the pool of multi-tool drool that should give commanders more useful widgets and gadgets than a Swiss Army knife, some of the probable lobbable surprise musicians... I've tripped myself up this week. Some of the probable lobbable surprise munitions have been showcased via their media channels. First on the list is the Iron Pineapple, a cricket ball-sized explosive that you don't want to be catching. Perfect for doing the dishes, creating new bunkers in the local golf course, and of course for tenderising anything from passing herds of ruminants to great-grandma's normally inedible meatloaf. Next is the Space Thermos. Originally published without a scale for reference, it was mistaken for a medical suppository usually listed in the Advanced Medicines catalogue aboard hospital carriers. Once an updated photograph was released, it was clear that unless you're the kind of person that farts like a ship's foghorn, it most definitely isn't the right size to be used in quite that manner. No, the Space Thermos generates an electromagnetic pulse guaranteed to invalidate the warranty on your latest expensive G-phone, scramble your neighbour's TV set, and prevent all manner of dangerous Mr. Dusty attacks. With a pulse of a size that's normally reserved for the effects of a pocket tactical nuke, the Space Thermos is a true Q-branch special. Turn the lid one way, and you've got a detachable cup and container for your warm soup. Turn it the other way, and on the count of 3 you can make any passing cyborg twerk, twist and macarena their way into a huge repair bill. There have been a number of sartorial choices revealed for the discerning pedestrian, with the late spring collection including new suits that pay tribute to some design classics. There's the Dark Helmet Combat Special, also known as the Cobra Commander, which comes with a free Mr. Coffee for that hot beverage whilst watching radar. The Lacon, with prominent vertical bars in front of your eyes to give you that I'm just going to take this corner wide feeling whilst walking about, and of course the multi-purpose Maverick suit, which comes with detachable multi-tool, radio wristwatch, voice changer, and of course two-way ham radio. These collections are available in many colours to suit your preferences, but do appear to be available in only one size. There are concerns that 6 years of sitting on their bum flying spaceships might have left many commanders in dire need of a visit to the sports facilities, or a good Medbee Star Lube and shoehorn combo in order to get into the suit. Hutton investigators have announced that following a desperate search for the Frameshift bandits, they may have discovered their hideout in an obscure corner of the bubble. If, of course, bubbles actually have corners. And, possibly right on the edge of populated space. This Wild West system hosts their hideout, and what's more, there are rumours they've been pilfering everything that's not nailed down, and quite a lot of things that were, but could be easily removed by an arc cutter and a bit of grunting and shoving. Hutton are assembling a crack team of infiltrators to enter the hideout and take absolutely everything back that they've pinched. From the power regulators seen the other day, to all the med packs they thought they'd help themselves to, and even the data they downloaded from the computer systems. Yes, Operation Alpha Armageddon is go for Saturday the 3rd of April at 2000.
You do know that those were secret plans, don't you?
Yeah, and?
Well, you've just broadcast them to the galaxy.
Oh, bother. Forget you heard anything. Anyway, well, looks like they might be prepared for us then. So once you gain access to the simulator on Monday, you'll want to get into training for what looks like is going to be one heck of a gunfight at the not okay, not one bit Corral, home of the Frameshift Bandits. Oh, and then we'll stop for selfies, shenanigans and cucumber sandwiches after, for those that don't like the shooty bits.
Since Monday, Hutton has dramatically lost 15% influence to the Mad Monks of Van Marnen over in Epsilon Eridani. Normally a very stable system, while simultaneously suffering from an outbreak of a previously unknown variant of space lurgy. Whilst it's common knowledge that the Mad Monks have some dirty habits, their lack of quality control on their tonic wine production line is the stuff of legend. But it does result in some interesting and even vintage batches. It seems that, heady on one of their better brews, they've gone all in and have gambled their only asset in Epsilon Eridani, that's Lena Weaver Landing, against the Hutton-held station Fortress Cousins. Polling starts tomorrow. Get your crosses ready. Yes, the Mad Monks of Van Marnen gave everyone mods. This terrible condition, caused by not using a Hutton mug regularly enough, appears to have been caused by a mug inhibitor added on the sly. Symptoms have included space lurgy, itchy flight suit syndrome, hotbox thumb, not to be confused with hotbox finger, which is what to show people who get their legs out, and of course, extreme explosive flatulence. Ordinarily, being such pious souls, no one could ever have expected them to regard us with such envious eyes, and slowly but surely they stooped to slipping a Mickey fin into their famous libation and drew their plans against us. Is this revenge for Hutton ousting them from their home system? Perhaps their vow of silence means that we'll never know, as they remain tight-lipped on the matter. Remember, in the Mad Monk's monastery, no one can hear you scream. Supplies of meds proved initially difficult to source, and it's suspected that systems have held on to their own supplies until the Eridani variant is genetically decoded. Consequently, they put up few drugs to sell on the open market. However, supplies have been located further afield, and some independent pilots have answered the call by bunging a few 100 million credits to one of their old Space Academy chums. Some, even more unscrupulous profiteering mission givers, briefly took advantage of the situation, offering miserly sums, promises of influence, or paltry amounts of Grade 1 materials in return for large quantities of basic meds that they no doubt sold on at an outrageous profit. In stepped 3 Hutton fleet carriers, known locally as Big Farmer, Even Bigger Farmer, and Old Farmer Giles, which took up station at each of the Eridani starports, offering medicines at even lower than cost price. Willing truckers, loins girded, remlocks firmly in place, hands duly sanitised with a Centauri Megagin gel, distributed over 50,000 tonnes of medicines and lots of there to the local population. The French-speaking inhabitants appear to have translated there to la, and have been running around blathering this repeatedly with their hands clapped over their ears like there is aucun problem. Perhaps they put their faith in médecins sans fromage. Eridanians would have been looking forward to slaking the thirst brought on by the outbreak when the pub lockdown ends, if it wasn't for the fact they now need a precautionary certification of medication. That, and the fact that the fleet carriers hadn't bought up and made off with all the beer.
Dear listener, I am coming in your ears this evening with an apology. Not for the first time, you may think, but it's been a while. On last week's show, we poked some fun at the much maligned Type 10 Defender. You know, the one which looks like Type 9's ugly cousin, that's been crashed through a wall repeatedly, set on fire and left in the sea for a fortnight. We laughed at the very thought of taking this malformed lump of breathtaking ugliness out on an exploration trip. We mocked its spoilers, all of them, tittered at its extra engines because they looked like they were made of plasticine and stuck on the side by a disinterested 3-year-old. And we poured scorn and derision on its, well, everything. But we were wrong. Despite being a whole 350 tons heavier than the Type 9, having more spoilers than the Mandalorian fan site, and needing a bigger shield than the T9, sadly not an opaque one, the Type 10 Defender actually has a better jump range and can just about match the other giant of exploration, the Beluga, which is often to be seen at far-flung tourist beacons. How is this even possible, you ask? Well, it turns out that the blobfish of the space lanes has a secret. Gawping as it is on the outside, it is beautiful on the inside, and that beauty shows. Although equipped with a size 6 FSD from the showroom, it actually has space on board for a size 7, and this gives it an edge over many of its competitors. It's never going to challenge the Asp or the mighty Anaconda, but it can keep up with the Explorer Cutters and Explorer T9s, and even a fully kitted out Beluga Spaceliner with luxury cabins, fully stocked bars and trees in its atrium. And it's the only ship that space mollusks and those weird giant star things won't approach. So, I apologise on behalf of myself and Hutton News, and especially on behalf of Juan Kerr, who wrote last week's article, and as such is really the person that's to blame. I'm very, very sorry for the unkind words, although it really was Juan's fault. And I hope that Lakon Spaceways, the models of the Ladies of Lakon calendar, and the members of the Type 10 Defender Owners Club, both of them, will forgive me, but mainly forgive Juan. And remember, the Midnight Black paint job is available for the Type 10 for a modest amount of arcs, and ensures that you won't be able to see most of it. So there is a silver lining to this big, ungainly, boxy, vomit-inducing cloud.
When mods is raging all around and you're stuck in lockdown at your home station, it's quite possible that you may undergo certain changes in your routine. Your body can change as you get less vitamin D from not being exposed to starlight, even from a brown dwarf. You need to find things to occupy your day, and your eating habits can change. It was no surprise, therefore, for us to receive a message that Major General Noctivagus was experiencing an expanding gut. What was surprising was that he appears to be taking people and asking people to watch this expansion, which seems to us at the very least to be unsavoury, and at worst, encouraging bad habits. A bit like encouraging combatants at a bare-knuckle fist fight with a kick him in a fork. We were about to raise a protest when Nocti clarified his position. This was not related to corporation of the bodily kind, it was the corporation of the corporate type, Core Dynamics to be precise, and the gut was actually a Farragut-class battlecruiser, Alvin's Bark, which, now we come to think of it, we've mentioned here before, so goodness knows why we misunderstood. The Major General has apparently taken control of one of the third 3D printing space docks that usually are employed in creating capital ships, and bent it to his will. This was necessary as although this project started in January 3306, using his own equipment, Nocti had only been able to fabricate the little insert that goes inside the ashtray in the left-hand pilot's seat, and was in danger of never completing this task. The news this week is that it's now possible to watch the creation of Nocti's ship via vidcast, and if you find videos of paint drying too racy for you, or you get nausea from the sheer speed of your grass as it grows, then this is the one for you. Tune to twitch.tv/its_Nocti, that's ITS_NOCTI, especially as he is close to getting yet another medal, this time for being an affiliate. One thing we should warn you about is that Nocti's very much an old-fashioned, independent pilot, and the space dock is owned by the Federation, and they each use different measurement units. So very much like the Beagle Mars lander of 1,308 years ago, and don't tell Nocti, it'll break his heart, things are not quite the size he's expecting. It's not quite large enough to walk around in, or to land a ship on. It will actually reasonably comfortably fit inside the Major General's quarters.
Further to our revealing information earlier about the Pilots Federation being all revealing, we're being spoiled with more information on an almost daily basis at the moment. Hutton's photography team were invited into one of the new, hastily crafted social areas, recently completed by a swarm of Volcab B drones supervised by the Pilots Federation, and we must admit, we're mighty impressed. These new social hubs are the hive of interaction. Everywhere you turn, you can see familiar faces, luminaries from the mission boards that you're used to seeing on your screen, but in glorious 3D. There's a bar, there's a store, there are dodgy looking types hanging around offering to sell you everything from knockoff Hutton mugs to rares from throughout the galaxy. Surrounding you, there are holograms of ships for sales, hollow banners hanging from the ceiling promoting the newest exciting technology. But as far as we were granted access to this exciting hub, a klaxon sounded and we were bundled outside of a door. The entire showcase was raided by the Galactic Music Licensing Agency. The music in the bar was shut down. The jukebox was brought offline with a portable EMP grenade. And it looks like the barman was arrested, subjected to a rather painful-looking introduction to the floor, and then carted off in a waiting DMCA enforcement wagon. We attempted to interview our host about it, but all she could say was she was sure that they bought more than the Blue Drambuie for the launch event, and besides, Sati had been dead for hundreds of years, and she was sure that no one would mind. A passing enforcer quite simply said, "If it's not Strauss, then we don't want to know." What little footage we obtained provide new insights into the upgraded shipyard and trading interface via a handy touchscreen console. Shortly after, though, we were bundled into a waiting beluga, a short-lived ride down to the hangar, and we were swiftly escorted off the premises before we, too, were arrested for loitering with intent to listening to music, which we understand is a felony, only surpassed by being caught speeding in the docking area. One item of note, though, one of the dodgy individuals in the bar that was offering a particularly ropey-sounding contract looked an awful lot like a notorious frameshift bandit. Arf.
During recent attempts to round up stray drones, probes, and rovers which have been plaguing the inhabitants of Olympus Village, Federation archaeologists have made an interesting discovery. The 21st century Ingenuity helicopter drone was captured with a big butterfly net and using roundhead screws as bait as it tried to steal technology from a biffer bin at the back of the Olympus Village branch of Asteroid. That's a discount homewares and electrical supplier. The drone was then taken to Federation labs for tests. During these tests, Ingenuity was found to have a small section of muslin cloth attached to a strut just under its rotor. Investigations confirmed that this is part of the Wright brothers' Flyer 1, which made the first powered flight back on Earth in 1903 and was attached to Ingenuity as a tribute to Wilbur and Orville's legacy. Observers have said that Perseverance is keeping a vigil outside of the facility and has taken to holding up a Zippo lighter and a sign which says, "Give my baby back," in impeccable binary script. The banner is said to be massive. This story relates to a little-known fact about Hutton Orbital. We have an actual piece of hull plating from Commander Jameson's Cobra attached to the station. It was left there many years ago when Commander Jameson misjudged his approach to Pad 1, causing some damage to the station and losing said piece of hull plate in the process. We've attempted to contact Commander Jameson at his last known address of HIP 12099 Planet 1B, but although his Cobra was parked there, he was not at home. So I would like to send a message over the airwaves. Commander John Jameson, elite combateer, hero of the human race and inspiration to billions. You owe us 500 credits, you tight-fisted bastard. Pay up or we're taking the Cobra.
After last week's quiet time in Hutton space, we've seen more activity in some systems and an utter shock in one. However, my thunder was already stolen as Epsilon Eridani and its outbreak was covered in some detail in the earlier news article, so I won't dwell on that any further. It just remains to win the election. 5 other systems are below 40%, allowing other factions to squabble and lock up influence, notably Barnard Star, Wolf 1481, and Wise 0855-0714, which all need a 10% boost. Kakari and Trepin has improved in the week, but we need to establish and maintain a larger gap with the minor factions, particularly the Earth Defence Fleet. Terrorists attacked LP 535-29 after the last update. Isn't Lave and Sol enough for them? That was over by Tuesday, and they moved straight into LHS 340, which finds itself in a boom state. Whether this is a result of or despite the terrorist attack is undecided until the smoke clears. Meanwhile, at the top end of the Hutton System League, 8 systems, yes, 8, a third of them, are attempting to outdo each other above 60, with LHS 340 above 75 despite its terrorism incident, making it well placed for expansion into Wolf 562 in 5 days, as it has just triggered. We only need to expand from one system, folks. It's not a race. Keep them down below 60, please. Put all that effort into some of the systems at the other end of the table. In Colonia, Generalissimo Hankey reports that all is generally well, but Doriso has fallen by over 8% and would benefit from bounty vouchers, passenger missions, and exploration data. We still need to leave Hotel Carson and Ari, where the roommate is now complaining that Commander's having too long a lie-in without putting out the Do Not Disturb sign. We know those rooms are on the warm side, but could you at least wear some pants? Hutton are down to only 5% influence from the mid-20s, so help out and give us a nudge to finally check out of there. Priorities this week. If you want to truck something, Epsilon Eridani needs you to canvass and vote in the pending election, and also boost Hutton influence in Barnard Star, Wolf 1481, and Wise 0855-0714. If you want to shoot something, the Mad Monk season has opened up in Epsilon Eridani. We still need to, and lastly, we still need to exit Carson and Ari, so help any of the factions there except Hutton.
Here's the news for events organised by the community themselves. Eros Maidlung has sent us a message in a space bottle, telling us of life on the FTM Esfahan, the trip being piloted by a committee of anyone who wants to vote, and we all know how well the results of votes usually turn out, don't we? His message says, in very bad handwriting, flaming scientists, Bam fell asleep somewhere and we left him behind, moving 16,000 light years by the time he woke up. Babster has been furiously mapping black holes and finding that they are mostly black and hole-like. I've been mostly trying to rebuild the tritium reserves No jump plans yet until we can replenish the fuel. P.S. I finally worked out what that noise was. I asked for feedback, and what I got was an annoying high-pitched whine, so I turned that off straight away. Commander Mephisto has sent me a lovely typed note. See, Eros, it can be done. About what's happening in the comfy cannon cruise, taking folks around the galaxy in comfort and safety. A sort of safari for pilots who you might say, and here's his note about how safari they got on. I'll get my quote. We had something for every explorer. Geologists admired fumaroles, geysers, lava spouts and crystalline shards. Xenobiologists studied different anemones as well as brain trees and more mollusks. For planetologists, we had crystals and lattice mineral spheres. Astrophysicists explored all around the route. Archaeologists dug around in Guardian ruins, but some maybe only to acquire fancy tech before the bubble is out of reach. Congratulations go to Conchu Scout Commander Sita 1V, who gained the Elite Dangerous rank while excelling in their duty. Fun was had at an SRV race, the first event of the cruise. Commander Hunter has a brief report on the 5 Eurotours expedition, the one for new pilots who want to explore without fleet carriers but with friends, to say that they've covered 700,000 light years, which is about a third of the total distance, in just under 12 days. Only 6 commanders so far got to the rebuy screen, and Hunter says he's discovered a planet that seemed to be in the midst of a dust storm, and he nearly cooked his passengers alive, playing with a group of P-02 anomalies. Of course, the Alpha Antics start soon, as mentioned by Vantion, so stay tuned for more detail than you could possibly want in just a few minutes. And finally, Commander Prophet Velen, keeper of the FTM Cloud Atlas, hasn't so much dropped his space glove as thrown down the gauntlet to the people behind the Hayden Blackbrew Book of Records. Telling us something that will happen in the future is only fitting for a prophet, and it's a galactic speed record attempt starting this Saturday 27th of March at 1700 UTC from HD 1489373, which is a high metal content world, 258 light seconds from the arrival star. The ship he's using is the Beelzebub, a Viper decorated with white stars and a rather vulgar gold paint job. If you can't make it to the start, see the people from the Hayden Blackbrew Book of Records with their space clipboards and space stopwatches, and you can't be present to wish them bon voyage and hear him show his gratitude by mouthing at you, "Get out of the bloody way." Then he's arranged for a remote vidcast, which you can access by tuning in at twitch.tv/FTM_Cloud Atlas. Until recently, it wasn't exactly clear which record he's trying to break. It could equally have been the fastest round the galaxy with one hand tied behind his back, the fastest speed managed before the surface of the planet rearranged his molecules, or the fastest eating of 20 McThargoid's Big Tharg burgers. However, he does assure us that the record he's trying to break is for the fastest in normal space. The record is currently 34,526 metres a second, but he's hoping to hit 34,600. Good luck, and if he meets any solid objects at that speed, the last thing that'll go through his mind is the back of his REM lock. And that's all the news we have on the events that our holy community organised. Don't forget to let us know if you hear of any others.
Wow, stop, wait a minute, I've got another one.
What do you mean you've got another one? That's it, we've got no more bongs left.
Well, you just have to find one somewhere. I've got extra news.
You can't just go inserting extra bongs into things at the drop of a hat. It takes me ages to get these things this badly set up.
Well, I tell you what, I'll do my own bong then, right? Bong. St. Summertime of Britain is to be honoured this weekend and for the next 7 months in gratitude of our many sacrifices going back to the days of Magna Carta. For those who don't know, Magna Carta, she was a brave Hungarian peasant girl who forced King John to shut all the pubs early before being chased away by villagers with torches and pitchforks. But tonight, we are concerned with St. Summertime, patron saint of sunburn and windbreaks, who is believed to bring overpriced ice cream, warm rain, and to put sand in the sandwiches of commanders who originate in the UK. This weekend we shall honour her in the traditional ways and in keeping with the texts of old, which say, "For I am British summertime, and you must give unto me 1 hour of your sacred Sunday lie-in." This means that for the next 7 months, UK Align commanders will adjust their onboard clocks and will operate at UTC plus 1 hour. For it is written, "Please be respectful of our ways and make allowances for UK commanders being 1 hour earlier to everything than everyone else." That's it. I'm finished.
You sure?
now.
Can I do the thing?
I don't have any more. I'm done now.
You sure? I can push
Yeah.
the button. There's no shouting
push the
over
button.
it. Push the button.
No, I
Okay.
won't
Press
shout
the
over it.
button!
I promise I won't shout over it.
Seamless. Thank you very much to the news team. Now, we do have a special guest this week, but before we go into our banter section and talk to them, I think we should play you a sample of his work, in which he appears with some other geezer.
Igor, you horrible wretch. The galaxy appears to have forgotten about me.
I'm sure that's not true, sir.
There was a time when people would quake at the very mention of my name.
That's true. I have taken a liberty of hiring some help, sir. Someone to boost your image.
I like your thinking. You can have an extra go on the rack later if you want.
Thank you, sir. I do like a good stretch.
Hello, nice to meet you. Now, I'm here to see what we can do about getting your name back on everyone's lips.
Go on.
The Snake Mountain lair look, it just has to go. We need something more grand and imposing.
I'm liking what I'm hearing here.
Maybe some ermine, sir. Or possibly a Momus Bog Spaniel fur cape.
You'd enjoy that, wouldn't you, Igor? All of those little puppies.
Most definitely, sir.
And the name? Maybe it's time for a change. Or maybe a pseudonym. After all, if everyone keeps running away as soon as they see your name, you won't get to interact with them.
I don't want to interact. I want to crush them. Yes, Igor, with lasers.
How about something like Steve or Brian?
Igor, my contract says I can't beat him. Punish yourself on his behalf.
Oh, thank you, sir. Maybe something softer for the name, like Tiddles or Mr. Fluffykins. They'll never see that one coming.
I can see it now. The rebuy screen. You were destroyed by Tiddles the kitten. though the salty tears would flow. You have my permission to change my name, you disgusting wretch. Pay the consultant like a good minion.
What? I thought we were improving your image, not using it to sneak up on people.
That is an improvement.
I'm not so sure I'm comfortable with any of this.
Shall I eject him, sir? He's becoming troublesome. Do whatever you want, Igor. Now, get my cape. Right you are, Mr. Potter, sir. Right you are. Igor? Sorry, sir. I mean, right you are, Mr. Tiddles.
Round of applause for WKJezz, and welcome back to the studio. Yes, we're here. We've just about managed to survive the news relatively seamlessly. We'd like to apologise to retired Navy IT1, who says that we forgot to mention when the show was actually going to be on air on email, Twitch, or on Discord. But you can be reassured that it's Thursday. We started at about 8:30 Hutton time.
And it was a good start.
And it was absolutely seamless start. For those of you listening on the radio station, we understand that the transmitter's taken a bit of a bump. We understand that Nocti and his gut may have bumped into it. His Farragut, sorry, may have bumped into it and bent the aerial a tiny bit. So if you're listening on the radio station and it's a tiny bit distorted, we're really sorry. Blame Nocti.
Not TJ.
No, on this occasion, I think we're just going to go with Nocti. TJ's had enough blame.
Although he probably had something to do with it.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, so we are joined in the studio by the usual radio crew and our guest. We have Harry Balsack, also known as Commander Palantir. Good evening, Squire.
Good evening, good evening.
And how is the Hutton Baking Club getting along?
Very well, thank you.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, we're going to delve into your recent past during the Green Room section, and that reminds us it's worth mentioning this is a Green Room week. So if you do want to pop in and say hi to us, you can pop into our TeamSpeak server. Our second introduction of the evening will tell us all about the TeamSpeak server and what it is. It's Flossy. Hello, Flossy.
Hello.
Before we ask you how you are, the TeamSpeak server, how do people find it and what do they have to use to get to it?
Well, they need the TeamSpeak client, and they need to go to the server TS... hotforthemug.com.
ts.forthemug.com.
Forthemug.com.
That's the one. And you'll find in there's a Radio Green Room. Now, the Radio Green Room feed also got bent by Nocti's gut. Farragut. So if you are in there, you won't actually hear this radio show, so you will need to tune on your computer. But if you're in the room, it means we can talk to you and say hi later at the end of the show.
Which we'd really like you to do.
We would. We'd love to find out.
Yeah.
It looks like we do have a retired Navy IT1 putting two fingers up at me through the window for taking his name in vain earlier. We do have a Litho Breaker and an Aiden. Now, I think we did at some point have a PBSF Ghost, because I think he's got himself a new headset now. So we might be able to see the PBSF Ghost in there in a bit as well. But yeah, if you want to come and join us towards the end of the show, pop into the TeamSpeak server. And then we'll say hi, and if you've got nothing to say for the mug, and we'll find out how you are, and how each other are as well. So, Flossy.
Yes?
Have you got a CG bit for us this evening?
I have a CG bit, yes.
Oh, but don't give away any surprises and supplies.
No.
Don't give away the chocolate supplies.
Don't give
like last
supplies
week.
away either. We need them.
By the way, whoever was munching on the chocolate last week, you haven't given us any yet, so you're not allowed to do it this week either.
It was Flossy. She was pocket munching.
Here you
I
are.
know, guilty. Pocket munching. Flossy, how is the exercise bike? Getting your legs ready as well for next week?
Oh, yes. I've been pedaling a fair bit, getting my legs ready.
Yeah, I mean, I know some of them are low-gravity planets, but, I mean, we do understand that it is possible with some of the traditional landable planets to land on something heavy.
Yes.
So you might need, those thigh muscles are getting a good workout before Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, sitting next to Flossy, we have our very own Galnet Rares Digest presenter, Amelia.
Hello.
So you've gone off the food?
I've not gone off the food. It's just, we're trying a few new things.
Yeah, well, I suppose we did try, or you tried. I mean, we're not brave enough. You did try all of the food in the galaxy, or the rare food, anyway, the dangerous stuff.
Not all of it. There is still some left, which we can always come back to. But I think it's a good idea that we, experience everything, not just food.
Yeah, I mean, just about everything that's left is booze, I think. And, we do have a duty of care to you, not to give you too much of that week in, week out. You're a little snifter and that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, okay, maybe a pint or three of indie bourbon. But actually, talking of indie bourbon, Commander Chix.
Yes.
Are we talking of indie bourbon this week?
It gets a mention in a short while.
Well, we're hoping we've got your video lined up.
So am I.
Yeah, we think we've got something somewhere. So you've got your segment and your latest review. Those are doing really well on the sort of pay-per-view. No, it's not pay-per-view. It's free-to-view online service as well.
Very good.
Commander Palantir, you've been doing a cracking job, haven't you? Getting these things uploaded on their own to the YouTube channel.
I've been sticking them up. I have been sticking them up.
Now, for those of you that are easily confused, the ones that we're sticking up aren't the ones from this week's show. To listen for the ones from this week's show, you have to listen to this week's show. The ones that we're putting up there are from last year's show.
That's the food one. The Chix one we're putting up half a week late. See?
Oh, the uploads, yeah.
So if people miss Chix in this one, and we know what busy lives people have and what kind of attention spans young people have, then they can just, if they're only interested in the A to Z of Hutton Space, then they can do the 5 minutes of that, which is probably 5 times longer than
people with a short attention span, like, I don't know, Commander Wotherspoon, he was saying that, the Hutton Orbital Radio and its evening broadcasts are great big long things, and maybe we'd attract a younger, more vibrant audience if we kept it to, I don't know, a minute or two in length. Maybe.
We wouldn't even get the show started if we kept it down to a minute.
We wouldn't be out the first bong by that point. And then, of course, we have the apology officer.
I was just waiting to see if you remember.
You see, it is traditional to forget you, but we can't forget you.
I know when I'm not one.
So you've been on the weights, lifting weights for your legs next week, getting ready for perambulating.
Nope.
I mean...
Nope, not happening for me. I'm saving it to the autumn. I mean, it's still cold here. I need to keep the hair on my legs.
Is it? I mean, obviously, is it actually true that they're banning, Scott's box from actually walking on planets?
In my case, yes.
They've
banned me, and I'm Scottish, so it's therefore they've banned Scottish people.
Is it because I is Scottish? Yes.
Is it because I is Scottish? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I've decided I'm going to be doing a bit of penance anyway. So what I've done is. In penance for last week, I have engineered a Type 10, and I will be taking it to Beagle Point. So I've called it the Massive Huff. So while you guys are doing walking around, I'm going to Beagle Point in a massive huff.
Well, there was a very valid question, of course, is that when some of the commanders get down on planets, are we going to be horribly neglecting Team Hotbox? And the answer is absolutely not. I mean, we're going to.
I was going to say yes.
Well. No, we're going to be looking after Team Hotbox and our friends over on Hotpuss for the PlayStation Commanders. And we are events that we organise are going to be multi-platform, and there will be bits in it for everybody. So we are going to carry on, obviously, putting things on that are in space. We're not just going to do everything on planets. That said, though, next Saturday is in a base,
and of course, not everybody who flies in the PC control system will be able to do the walking about alpha thing.
No, we're going to be relying on.
There's still going to be people there, but we'll be watching and cheering you on, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll be relying on you to look after the systems and make sure it doesn't burn down, and we don't get elections in Epsilon Indi, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. Don't do that.
No, don't do that because it happens. And then obviously now, normally I forget you. I don't think I forgot anybody else, but it is now time to say hi to our guest. Good evening to WKJezz.
Good evening. Very good. Very happy to be here and amongst such welcoming company.
Well, we're a friendly lot. It's only because the room's small and the seats are very, very close together. There's no social distancing in this studio, but mainly because we're all hollow me.
That is true. I mean, I can just about move my elbows a couple of inches and not.
Ow!
Well, Well, I didn't get it.
No, okay, Flossy, don't get it with the pan just yet. No, he's not done anything bad yet. So, WKJezz, would you like, for the benefit of our listener, and I think, oh no, we've got Beetlejude joined us. We've got 2 listeners now, and retired Navy IT1 who's managed not to fall asleep yet. Introduce yourself and who and how do we know you? What do you do, and how are you part of the elite, dangerous universe?
Well, this is quite a funny story, really, because I used to be quite a prominent streamer of Elite Dangerous or broadcaster, and I took a decision for reasons to retire, and then suddenly I have, since that time retiring, have become more involved in Elite Dangerous than ever before, so it's quite interesting, really, how that works. But I work also behind the scenes with another broadcaster, my partner, Boss Lady B, who got her coveted title of partner today. So it's kind of all been celebrations and kind of good things like that.
So I mean, you're an experienced broadcaster, and now you're experiencing the other end of the spectrum here at Hutton Orbital Radio. I mean, it takes an awful lot of effort to craft things to sound quite this cobbled together with gaffer tape. It really does.
Well, I mean, I'm no stranger to disaster myself, actually, and things falling apart. The lovely experience we had today when we was watching certain videos, I was so encapsulated by that video. I had a chocolate orange in my hand, and this, of course, is a true but totally not true story. The thing obviously melted by the time the transmission was over. So, protocol with a chocolate orange, bang it on the dashboard.
Don't tap it, whack it. Yep, the usual.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. It's
Of
not
course,
Terry's, it's mine.
Exactly, but here's the thing. Because the way the recipe has changed, the thing was so solid, went straight through me dashboard of me ship, and now I'm up to my knees in chocolate. And,
you're in
orange.
Rebuy Central. You're in Rebuy Central.
Exactly. There's no coming back from that, and I'm quite sad, really. So.
Yeah, and besides, when your M-Lock came on afterwards, you weren't able to eat the chocolate, and that's just a travesty, as Flossy will tell you. Flossie, who is pocket munching chocolate right this second, I'm sure.
Well, I've finished it now.
And you didn't offer it round. I'm sulking.
I did,
okay.
when you said.
What? Pardon?
I said, here, have some. When you mentioned it earlier.
No, it's okay. I don't want to end up like Nocti and have 6 kilos extra. So we've got quite a lot to talk about this evening, and it's really good to have WKJezz here as well, because and I'm going to push a button, and we're going to see if put things on screen. For those of you watching on screen, it says 60 Peggy 16. Now, we are putting the video on screen that the Pilots Federation showed earlier of some random reporter wandering around a social area and bothering people, which was released an hour and a half ago, I think. Maybe, by the Pilots Federation.
Yeah, about then, yeah.
And so, of course, it's down to us to analyse this. No, we're not Lave Radio, are we?
Why is it Peggy 16? Is it because they went into a pub?
We know this one. It's because you can shoot people.
Yeah, but nobody shot anybody.
Yeah, but the subject... Oh, no, because it's the dodgy contracts. That's what it was. When they go and see Arf, and that is Arf, by the way.
Oh, so, yeah.
He's on screen right now, the guy with the beard and whatever.
Yeah, it's him, all right.
That is definitely the Frameshift Bandit. He's talking about doing dodgy, illegal contracts and things. And possibly.
Okay, so it's criminal activity then.
Mm-hmm. There was a cunning question asked by one commander. WKJezz was, I think, party to this question as well, about, well, why can't we just, stun people? And I think the answer came back, because then you'd probably end up murdering them afterwards, and that's not cool. So I don't think we're going to be allowed to stun people and then murder them. So yes, stuns aren't allowed. You can just shoot them straight. Shoot them straight off. That's it. That's all you're allowed to do.
Or they'd end up doing Peggy 18 things to them.
Well, that'd be R-rated. We go the full Deadpool on people. I'm going to stick your head up his... No. But anyway, WKJezz. I mean, you're here because obviously this week's exciting stuff, and we know you're excited about the releases that are coming next week as well, and you might be vaguely knowledgeable about it as well.
Yes, it's... my goodness, where do we start?
Well, where do we start is we did have... a schedule that we were given earlier today by the Pilots Federation of what was going to be coming out and when it was going to be coming out and that kind of stuff. Now, I'm just trying to see whether I can put the schedule up on screen. It's one of these buttons. I'm either going to actually activate the Chix, right, or not. So let me just switch off the video. There's the video gone. Let's see if I can bring it up on screen. There we go. We do have the Odyssey master plan up on screen at the moment for those watching on twitch.tv/Hutton, the Hutton channel. Anyway, so phase 1 WKJezz.
Yes.
Do I have to stick WK on every time, by the way, or is that just a?
I mean, you can call me Jezz if you like. I mean, the WK is a tragic waste of syllables.
It was, I know. So Jezz.
Yes.
Give us a little bit of the lowdown as you know it. What are we getting next week? Or sorry, what is everybody apart from the apology officer getting next week?
Well, it looks to me that we're going to be starting in a very close quarters situation with many other commanders, except for your apology officer, of course, in a single system. The single system remains unknown, but I wonder if it would be Alpha Centauri. I mean, can you imagine all of the activity going down on Eden?
Well, I mean that's an important question about this Apex travel thing. That if you do the Apex travel to Hutton Orbital, is it going to take an hour and a half? You're just going to be staring at a swirling loading screen for an hour and a half, or we've not seen how that works yet. But we want to know whether is it a shortcut to Hutton? That's an important question. Or
it is, yeah.
Or is it going to take an hour and a half? So yeah, we're in a really condensed area of space. Important notice for people. Flossy, you're not going to be able to take your Corvette.
Oh.
In fact, Palantir, you're not going to take your asp either.
Oh, I can't go anywhere without my asp.
So what we're getting next week, and I'm just trying, I got to make it big so I can see it, because I need to read what's on it, but I can't read what's on it, so I'm going to call up the other screen. But so we are going to get the on-foot experience, apart from the apology officer, on Monday. And what they want us to look at is being on foot, which means we're not going to be getting our spaceships. We're going to be in a single star system, as you said. And how many spacesuits do we get, Jez? Do we know that one yet? How many spacesuits we're going to get?
I have the feeling it's just the one, isn't it?
The scavenger one.
Yeah, and I'm all about that. I mean, I'm all about the treasure hunt. Annika Rice, all of that.
Oh, do you remember that TV show? That was, yeah. I'm not sure about that outfit. The whole blue and yellow thing, wasn't it, that she was wearing?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're waiting to see whether Flossy's got one of those blue and yellow outfits to go with her nicely toned thighs. Anyway, it's all getting a bit salacious now. So yeah, it says new commander issued for every participant. In somebody taking notes, please do take notes. It's important. So we're going to get a new commander issued next week, which means you don't have your current commander with your billions of credits, your fleet carrier, your Corvette, and everything else. What we get is a new commander. We're going to be a single star system. We're going to get our Remlot Maverick Scavenger suit. And I think we're getting a couple of the weapon sets. Not all of it, so we're not getting the whole lot. And we're getting what's known as the Apex Interstellar Travel available for player travel. So we're in that system. You're going to be able to go to different places in the system to go and visit some of these places that the Frameshift bandits are hiding. And there will be a variety of activities available, including salvage and collect/delivery missions. I think what they're not saying there is, yes, you're going to be able to shoot stuff too. Because we are, really, aren't we?
We'll find a way.
We will find a way. So, that's phase 1. So then, who wants to go next with phase 2? Should we go with Palantir?
Yeah, phase 2 is when it starts to get hands-on, or rather guns-on. Yeah, they're going to open up a bigger area of space for us, up to 20 light years. So, which I think is really good because, of course, in the first phase, you don't want everybody disappearing off to the ends of the galaxy and then say,
"Well, to Beagle Point in their Type 10 because they're sulking." Yeah.
We didn't get anyone to interact with. So at least it'll force everybody to interact. So, but 20 light years allows people to move out a bit, and you can now get a ship, and you get the suit.
No, hang on. Before you go there. We do have a confirmation, and this is a piece of information we are allowed to release that's not in that visual. Players can now purchase ships. We do understand that will also include the use of your SRV. And that is a Hutton exclusive that we're allowed to talk about. So yes, in Phase 2, you'll get your ships and your SRVs. Sorry, I'll let you carry on now.
No, that because that obviously changes. That allows a whole new mode of interaction. If you can get your SRV, so you're not limited to
eat your heart out.
You're not limited to a few hundred yards around any starport to do this. You can actually go out and find things and drive over rocks. But you will get the Manticore Dominator combat suit. Well, you'll be able to buy it, yeah. So I would say during Phase 1, I'd concentrate on trying to earn some money so you can actually buy yourself a suit.
Yeah, and we don't know. And we saw a little bit in the video. Actually, I'm going to leave this on screen. But in the video, there is a little bit about this sort of barter system with the dodgy barman. We don't know how that's going to work, or how that those materials and the currency and whatever is going to work. I don't think they interacted with the shop. They walked around the shop while the music was playing, but they didn't interact with the shop. But we don't know how the purchasing of stuff's going to work, because obviously we're all multi-billionaires. So
especially certain mining people in our
people. So we don't know whether it's cash related. We don't know that yet. We're going to find out during Phase 2. But here's the exciting bit for players who like Pew Pew, who aren't Flossy. Go ahead, Palantir. The next thing in there.
Yeah, well, actually be able to have conflicts between factions. So it's starting now. To instead of just working together, people will be able to work against each other. Not the Hutton way, of course, but
yeah. Now, whether this involves the BGS being involved and part of the testing involved, that the stuff that we're doing on foot actually affecting your faction, we suspect that's true. I mean, Jez, we don't know this bit yet, do we? We haven't had information on whether the BGS bit's going to go live in Phase 2.
Yes, we haven't had any information on that, have we?
No, so but we're hoping, because it says faction conflicts will be enabled, we're hoping that you will actually be able to win one. And given that wars take 4 days, something like that, 1 day to go pending, we're hoping that we're going to be able to get involved in a faction conflict.
At the top of that table, it's got missions will be dependent on BGS state.
There you go. So, yeah, what's going to happen is we're going to get a lockdown during the first part of Phase 1. Right? That they didn't predict, because it's going to be seamless, just as we are. And then they're going to have to do something to get us out of lockdown by the weekend. So, yeah, we do expect that there'll be faction conflicts to be available within 20 light years of that space. And the next bit.
Frontline solutions.
Yes, Alvin is going to be able to get his anti-tick treatment.
Tick? No, that's not right. No,
the tick is at 4 p.m. every day at the moment. No, Frontline Solutions is not a tick treatment for animals, though it is, but it's not. That, as we understand it, is to do with war and battle.
Huh, what's that good for?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
No.
And then, of course, the final bit on Phase 2.
It's missions for neighbouring systems, including trading with settlements and POIs. So that's quite interesting. I imagine getting a mission, getting in your ship. And I thought that was very neatly done in the video there about going and finding your ship so easily. It's not just pressing a button and it's not like going into an SRV where there's obviously
you bimble around in that city trying to find which of the docks has got your ship in it. Yes.
In the SRV, I always feel that that lift must drop so rapidly that I black out.
Yeah, well, and clearly it's an intelligent lift. I mean, for those of you that have watched, listened to and read a little bit of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I mean, it's almost a pity the lift isn't talking to you and telling you what level you're going to.
Glad to be of service.
Yes, and having a conversation about it. Of course, there's one level apology officer that we think is out of bounds.
Sorry, I was dazing there. It was a million miles away. Something we think is out of bounds.
Yes, which level might be out of bounds on these stations? With a lift that you has voice activated.
Oh, level The one between 10 and 12, maybe?
That one, yes. Because
that one, yes.
Yeah, because voice activation in lifts does not work for level
11.
11. You
11.
bastard.
It does. It does respond to people, just not to people of my heritage.
Yeah, but you're not allowed anyway. So
you're not allowed anyway.
Yeah,
possibly that's why they may be trying to re-engineer the list to accept Scottish accents.
Are we rubbing it in a little bit yet?
But
no, I don't care. I don't care.
Is there a high proportion? Is there a high proportion of gingers then in the hot box?
Oh, now you're going to get me into big trouble.
We've got one, but he's not Scottish.
No, he's part of the hot box. Galactic
He's a ginger-bearded American.
I was going to say the galactic overpopulation regime.
Did we count that as 1.5 for his potential? Because
we could do.
There's him and there's one on the way. So, 1.5 maybe.
And by the way, yes, Commander Venezia, Commander Mr. Venezia does say thank you very much for all of the good wishes for him and Mrs. Venezia from last week. Yay. Or was it the week before? Yeah, the big notice he put out. Okay, I'm going to hand over to Chix now about Phase 3.
Phase 3, which first foot and exobiology mechanics. So in Phase 2, we opened up to 20 light years. Phase 3 opens up to 50. And includes unexplored planets, allowing for first football experience.
We could have a football that's for the sports report for next week. Apology, officer. Get ready for the first football experience.
Oh, don't you worry. Yes, I'm ready.
Is that? But remember, it's not a football. It's actually a frag grenade where they haven't pulled the pin out. So be bloody careful.
No.
If you can get your hands on a Guardian Orb, you're sorted for a game of football.
Well, here's the things we don't know, whether it's going to be anywhere near that kind of space. What we can infer from this, sensibly looking at it, is that the system that's being chosen is within 50 light years of the edge of the bubble. That's a reasonable guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, you might find it has to wait to the last phase when all bets are off.
But it's not within 20 light years of the edge of the bubble.
Why is it the edge of the bubble?
Yeah, so you could draw a little sort of inner sphere. It's like you know, what is it? Beta testing, alpha testing is like onions. It has layers, or it makes you cry, whichever. And we're going to get the Artemis Explorer suit.
That? If you go back to the first phase, it says new commander issued for every participant. So you would logically assume he comes in a suit. So then you get to purchase a suit. Does that make 2 suits? So are we now on 4 suits?
Well, WKJezz. I think you'll probably arrive with your suit on. You'll arrive with your scavenger suit.
Yeah, I mean, Jez and I think, sent some questions over to the Pilots Federation. So obviously, when you're in your spaceship, you're not, unless you're buck naked. So Jez, the suit that you currently have is the suit that you have when you're in the station and stuff and in your ship, isn't it?
Yes, one would assume that in our current phase, we are essentially in the Remlock Maverick, perhaps?
Or just your normal flight suit, that funky jacket with the funny toed boots, and yeah.
But it makes the Remlock Maverick in Phase 1 available for purchase. Well,
you see,
you're kind of screwed if you don't.
So you're not naked before that?
Well, it's not important, but... So I'm trying to keep tabs on all the suits and things we've seen.
So and of course all the equipment that comes with the suits comes with it. So I think the Explorer suit, it's very likely will have access to the Dyson.
Oh yeah.
At that point,
yes, the genetic sampler tool.
And I would imagine that means that it's in the vicinity of some biological samples, because there's no point having Explorer stuff and those kind of tools. Organics.
If you run a 50 light year bubble, I'm assuming that's 100 light years across. That's a pretty big chunk of space.
Yeah, but it must include some form of biological that you can go and stick your thingy in. And
exactly.
Yeah. Right. Is there another phase? Who are we going to pick on for this one? Is there anybody who wants to opt out on talking about a phase before I pick on them?
Me, I want to opt out about talking about a phase.
You don't want any phases. So
I'm going through a phase of my own.
So should we hand this one to Amelia? No, this is not fair, is it? Because you actually sent me a message saying I've not read it yet, haven't you?
Yeah, well, this is the first time I've heard of all of this stuff. I'm normally the person that shows up on the day and just says, "Okay, chaps, what are we doing?"
Right. Okay. In which case, I'm going to hand over to Flossy.
Yes, Phase 4 is compatibility. There'll be a snapshot of players' commanders added to Alpha. So they're going to be doing a snapshot. They said between 3 and 4, they're going to be there's going to be down for a few days, and they're going to be taking a snapshot of where everybody is, what they're doing.
Now, they're making me out to be an enormous fibber here, because having asked the question and been told, can I mention that one, they're saying carriers, ships, fighters, and SRVs can be used. Now, I was led to believe, and then we were allowed to say that SRVs were in Phase 2. They've actually said SRVs are in Phase 4. It may be they've changed their mind since I asked the question, and I checked I was allowed to talk about it. So it might be that they go, boo, no, you can't use SRVs in 2, and they've moved it to 4 now. I've only just noticed that bit. Oops.
Yes. It says
Yes.
carriers, ships, fighters, and SRVs can be used.
Now, this is the important bit. This is when you get to take your Corvette, Flossy.
Yeah.
And this is the bit where I'd imagine they're sort of testing whether porting over our current commanders and whatever all works and nothing goes wrong. This is the bit where I'd imagine we can go and test all the things that aren't just on feet. Like, can we go to Guardian Ruins? Can we go to Thargoids? I'm hoping that's what we can test. And can we break anything? But a lot of this is going to be, can you play the game as usual with all your usual stuff without busting it?
If it's compatible, yeah.
Yeah. Like, are Hutton mugs actually illegal everywhere, or that sort of thing.
Or compatible with existing mechanics.
So, so basically, the start of the week, when you log in and you download the update and everything else, and then you post up on the forums saying, OMG, I haven't got all my stuff, this is so bugged. What are Hutton going to do at that point if we see that message from you? Facepalm? Yes.
Read the announcements, read everything about it. Read the forums.
Yeah. Now, WKJezz or Jezz or WK, whichever we're going to call you at the moment, are you familiar with how Hutton does testing? I mean, the Hutton Orbital truckers, are you familiar with how we do these things?
It's something that I have a very difficult time actually uttering. I mean, you may have to clarify it for me because I'm afraid to say. Right.
So what Hutton doesn't do is go all over Facebook and the forums or whatever, go OMG, XYZ is broken, I'm throwing my toys out the pram. What Hutton does is we go and hunt these bugs. We deliberately hunt the bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go in the absolute we go in the absolute understanding we know they're there and we're going to find them. We're going to find them and we're going to help slay them with extreme prejudice.
It's the right thing to do, really. I mean that's
it's the
more fun
trucker
than
thing
complaining,
to do,
isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the more we do, the more we find, the better it is when the apology officer gets to come and play with us later. Which is reasonable. So yes, what we're going to do is when it lands on Monday, obviously the Hutton Facebook page and Discord and everything else, we're going to set up separate channels for talking about it because we don't want Team Hotbox to sulk too badly. We're going to set up separate channels talking about it. That's where your screenshots go. That's where your questions go. The important stuff is, you need your network logs. And we'll put up details about how to find them. You'll need your journals. We'll put up details about how to find them. We need photographs. We need videos. And we need decent logs of your bugs. If you're in a wing with somebody else, do you know what? We need all of their data as well. And we send that across to the devs. We go on to the online reporting. We give as much detail as possible because the better detail we give, the fewer bugs will arrive in the game when it releases. That's the way it works.
And on the subject of bugs, I was talking to the very charming Rob last night, who is a third-party developer, who is still very nervous and apprehensive, so he will absolutely adore any logs he can get a hold of as well.
Yep, absolutely. Rob, also known as Robbie, also known as he of the EDCD, the Elite Dangerous Developer Community. Is desperate to get his hands on logs of just about everything so that they can... all the third-party developers, the guys and girls behind things like the database behind Inara and EDDB, all those kind of things, can absolutely have it ready for release once we end Phase 4. But
I don't envy their task.
No, I don't. And unfortunately, I'm going to be much part of the same kind of task because I'm going to have to work out how to make voice control work for all the stuff, which is going to be fun. So, other than that, your impressions, your first impressions of the video, what do we reckon?
Me?
Brilliant.
I'm very, very excited, and I don't mind saying this. Through large parts of the hype and all the rest of it, I become a little bit worried, but after seeing how full things are going to look on foot and the footage today, I'm quite happy. I'm quite excited.
I thought that station looked very, very clean. I do hope Hutton doesn't look like that. We've got a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, that was a worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not how I pictured Hutton Orbital at all. In fact, looking
Oh,
around
no.
this studio, it's not that tidy. No.
It's interesting. I spent an awful lot of time doing architectural stuff in airports, and it just took me straight into all those architectural impressions, and
Yeah.
very good. Very
I'm
good.
sure they've taken a lot of cues for that, though. It would make sense.
I may have come up to an answer we was pondering earlier about the genetic sampler. After 1 week of walking around Hutton Orbital, it may be in the drains. You just kind of
In cubicle 3, do not
yeah.
stick your sampler in cubicle 3. Oh my goodness. We
come
do
down to
not
that-
accept responsibility for what happens.
Come down to the hot box office. We've got genetic samples for you.
Oh yeah, you've got mollusks. Or is it Dan the Mollusk Man?
No, he's away at the moment. He's a PC guy now. He doesn't get in. We've revoked his privileges.
So
He's gonna
Folko's got an important question for you there, Apology Officer.
Yes.
If we don't find all the bugs, then do we have to apologise to the Apology Officer for not getting all the bugs fixed?
Yes, but you won't know that you've not got all the bugs if you don't find them.
Right. And Dead Meat GF says, if you need to apologise... hang on a second. He's supposed to be in some kind of respite care centre for the recently ran my legs off trying to get my legs ready for next week.
Yeah.
The
Anyway,
nurses
he
must be in a tea break again.
If you need to apologise to the Apology Officer, you must apologetically ask the Apology Officer to apologise to the Apology Officer on your behalf. And I said that
Yes.
without tripping up. I'm going to have a yay for that one.
Yay.
Yay!
So yeah. So we're going to go do this next week. So next Saturday then, we are going to have a get together. So the plan is when we work out where this system is on Monday.
Ovid Values Party, that mission.
Pardon?
Ovid? Is Ovid a system? This mission is up on the screen.
Oh,
Says
yeah.
Ovid
So
Values Party.
COVID, yeah.
well, that might just be somewhere they're showing off, not the place we're going to be. You never know.
Ovid sounds a lot like COVID.
Oh God.
I would hope that isn't the first system, because I did actually check that out earlier on the system map, and it's not very full.
No. We understand that they're going to pick a system that's got lots of space because there's going to be lots of us trying it. So it is going to have an awful lot of space in it, a lot of stations, a
And-
lot of bases. Yep.
Just because it's run by the Ovid Values Party doesn't mean it's in Ovid.
No.
It's just somewhere that they are in charge of a station.
They're only in that system.
All right, well that answers that one then.
Yep.
doesn't it?
So
As we told, I'll get back to my huff.
as far as we know, at the moment, the Frameshift Bandits are holed up in a base somewhere in this system. We're going to be able to test on Saturday. We're going there. We're going tooled up with whatever armor. Was it the Takada and kinematic weapon sets that we're allowed to have?
Yes.
And we're going to go there. And then we're going to take everything back. We are going to take that power regulator back. We're going to take the data back. We're going to take the whole lot back from the Frameshift Bandits. And we're going to just see how tough they are on the Saturday. We are also going to be doing Tigger mode testing. So we're going to be testing the jetpack and seeing whether we can get the Friends intro video with all of us jumping in the air at once. We're going to try and ride a skimmer. We're going to do all the stuff. We're going to try and bunny hop over a wall. We're going to test everything, and we're going to do it live streamed next Saturday.
Halo jump from orbit.
Well, we haven't got any ships yet till phase 2.
Just climb it the letterbox of the station.
All the way down.
You know what would make you,
Breaststroke all the way to the planet's surface.
you know what would make
Dead Meat says Nurse Wyeth doesn't know he's sneaked out of the facilities yet. Now, see, so we're excited about all of that. Now, exciting stuff though. There is a traditional question we have to ask our guests, Commander Palantir. Because we
Yes,
have to step back to the BGS for a little bit and Hutton Systems.
Yes, and it's a traditional question which has caused fear in many of our guests, and not a little bit of confusion in others, and not a little bit of wiping up afterwards. But the question is, what's it all about? What's it mean?
And to clarify, Jez, we mean the instructions that were handed out earlier during the BGS bit. If somebody was to ask you, what are we doing in Hutton Space at the moment? And those instructions that were handed out earlier, it's what does all of that mean? What do we have to do?
Oh my goodness, am I...
You're being asked to interpret for the hard of thinking.
See, oh dear.
Yeah.
By the way, this is normal for Hutton.
Actually,
MFH,
that is the perfect answer. What does it all mean? Oh dear. That's perfect.
Farked if I know is one of the others.
Yeah. So I don't know whether you've engaged much in faction to faction action, WKJezz. But yeah, the instructions were handed out that we have an election. Chix, it's pending at the moment.
Yes. Should go tomorrow's tick.
Yeah, it's really, really mean of us to do this, but we do it to every single guest, so don't feel singled out on this one. During an election, do you know what the rules are?
You've got to obliterate the candidate who is opposing you.
Yes, but you have to do it nicely.
Well, you could do it with your chocolate orange that is now technically
you could do smear campaigns. Weapon. Smear campaigns are valid.
That would be a smear campaign.
Smeared them in chocolate. So it's a no pew pew kind of thing. So it is you have to like leaflet and kiss babies and smear campaign against the opposition and
gerrymander.
Gerrymandering. Gerrymandering.
Kiss leaflets and post a baby through every door.
Yeah. You do have to do no confidence votes and against your opposition number, and I'm pretty sure that you've got to claim that they have misled the local faction.
And above all, vote along party lines.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
matter what.
And fly a flag.
And the flag, yes.
Yeah, right. The flag is ultra
if
important.
If you have a flag on a 4-foot pole at the back of you, every time you appear on camera, that really helps.
Absolutely. But
you see, the terribly difficult thing for me and this supposed BGS is I'm one of these explorer types who tries to spend as much time away from all of that nonsense as possible. And, well, my goodness, I feel like I've learnt so much about it that I didn't know already.
Well, so Flossy, just to help educate our explorer friend here, if you're an explorer and you come back to the bubble and you happen to have a friendly faction that you know, your own one or, Hutton, and you want to drop some data, because that's really valuable stuff, how might you know where in Hutton space to drop the data?
Well, if you go to hotforthemug.com, and it's on the home page in the top right, it shows all the stations that are needing data.
So yeah, Jez, if you come back to Hutton Space and you happen to have some, we'd love it.
One would assume that is a distribution of 10 million credits per station?
No, that's the number of systems you need to sell per station to have an effect.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I've got you.
Yep.
I'll have to hightail it back very soon.
Right. Well, we'd be grateful if you could. Now, obviously, Commander Palantir, it is traditional. There's a lot of banter going on because there's a lot of stuff being released this evening, and we've got Green Room coming up, and there's loads of broadcasts, and I'm sort of flathering because we're waiting for the Galnet News Digest to download as well. But it is there are a couple of other traditions as well. There's one other tradition.
Yes, the tradition is for anyone who comes along and actually contributes to the show by speaking more than 2 words and actually being able to hold their own and answer some part of the what the frick's it all about question. Someone who's done that and not thrown it back in our face, they have earned the right to get their very own Hutton Orbital radio mug.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And we never tell you in advance that this is going to happen, just so you don't do it, for ulterior motives.
I fear that I may not have expended enough words. on the what's it all about.
We just need to check. Do you want a left-handed one or a right-handed one?
I'll take a cracked one. That's probably as good as I deserve to see.
We could get you one with an upside-down handle.
I was going to say, we never tell anyone they're going to get a mug. We just broadcast it on the radio whenever anyone does.
Yeah, but nobody ever remembers or notices. So yes,
we catch out the ones who don't
So
listen.
Jez, if you don't mind and you're happy sharing such things, if you send us an email to this is an important one to listen out because there's more coming. I took part at huttonorbital.com email address where you would like us to send your Hutton Orbital radio mug. Then we will send you a Hutton Orbital radio mug as a radio contributor. And
That would be fantastic.
Congratulations from everybody on the team, and thank you very much for coming to join us. Obviously, we have more prizes, Commander Palantir.
Oh, I was just going to say, please,
We're
please
up
let us
to
know
our
as well.
eyeballs. Up to our eyeballs in prizes. So you were saying...
I was just going to say to Jez there, please let us know if you want your mug pre-broken or if you'd rather break it yourself.
No, it only gets broken if it comes back from the Antarctic with signatures on it by all of the Antarctic team.
Oh, yeah, but it's really important that it's not broken.
Yeah, exactly. And you wrap it in toilet rolls and somehow they still manage to smash it. But that's beside the point. So, Commander Palantir. Dun, 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 dun,
Yes,
dun, 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 dun. We have prizes.
We do. And that's what points mean.
Yeah, points mean prizes. So, if you took part in the Save Lave campaign and you were part of either the evacuating everybody mission or the repair mission, what are Hutton going to do for you?
If you're actually in and you took part in it at all, you actually did something.
Yep.
Hope that's what you said because I was reading through the list of prizes as you were speaking. So,
what's the
what we're
top
going to
item
do
in
there-
capital letters with the exclamation mark after that one?
That's what I figured it was going to be, but I just thought I'd waffle until I worked it out. It means if you took part at all and your name appears in those lists at hot.forthemug.com / operation for.
Or just click on the current events thing. Yeah, go to the current events thing. That's fine. Yeah.
And on Operation Orange Peel, if your name is in there, you will have earned yourself.
Dun dun dun.
A Hutton decal, which you can put on as many ships and SRVs as you like, provided you don't already have one.
But only for the commander that you did the rescue operations with.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would.
Yeah, and then that means for the table we've got, we've actually aggregated the results from the previous 2 phases of this. So everybody from Commander FTM Mustang, who's the top of the table for both contributions, all the way down to the very bottom of the table, which let's have a quick look, is the... who's at the bottom? Flossy, have you got the bottom of the table? Oh, Commander Wotherspoon. There we go.
Wotherspoon, yes.
Commander Wotherspoon did something, but he did the least. In fact, Commander Wotherspoon, all he did was rescue the Lave Radio team. So if you are one of those 223 people who took part in the rescue Lave operation, then please do send us an email to itookpart@huttonorbital.com. We will be tweeting and discording and everything else to remind you to tell us. Please tell us your commander name, and we will send you back a Hutton decal by way of thank you on behalf of Lave Radio. We have more. Dum, dum, dum. Yes, courtesy of Lave Radio, we are going to be handing out some Lave ship paint jobs.
Oh, what?
For the top...
LaveCon ones.
Nice.
Yeah, the LaveCon paint jobs. For the top 2 in each of the phases, plus the top 2 in the overall table if they're different. So, Flossy, do you have the numbers handy?
Just one sec.
Just one second. Well, I'm going to open up one of the tables, and I'm going to ask you a question on the other table in a little minute. So, for phase 1, the top 2 commanders were the Adman 2315 and the Cleaner 80. And you have got yourselves, congratulations, commanders, Lave paint jobs for you. Which ship is it that was last year, Commander Palantir?
Which ship? What?
Which ship was it last year at Lave? I can't remember which one had the paint job.
No. Oh no! It was the that's the new ones, wasn't it? It's the Mamba and the Crate.
Yeah.
Phantom, wasn't it?
Yep. And what's more, the top commander in that table will also get, drumroll please, a Hutton mug.
Ooh.
So, Commander the Adman 2315 has been induced, and whatever else into the Order of the Hutton mug. Commander the Adman 2315, thank you very much. You will be getting a lathe paint job and a Hutton mug. Then Flossy, from Phase 2, if you have Phase 2 handy.
Yeah, Phase 2.
Who are our top 2 in Phase 2?
Antares Fusion and Millstone Barn.
Who will both be getting, if they don't have it already, a lathe paint job and a Hutton mug. Now, we understand from Antares Fusion that Antares Fusion already has a Hutton mug, and Antares Fusion would be absolutely delighted if Millstone Barn would accept the Hutton mug on his behalf.
Oh.
We have got
generous.
confirmation that Millstone Barn, who's a long-standing friend of the Truckers, does not yet have a genuine Hutton mug. Millstone Barn will now have a genuine Hutton mug. So, could you please send an email to itookpart@huttonorbital.com, Millstone, and we will get your Hutton mug out to you. What's more? Dun, dun, dun! That other one.
There's more?
Yeah, there's more. Yes, the Pilots Federation themselves have said there is some orange paint.
Ooh.
Now, which means it's an orange paint pack. There's orange stuff. They have given away, in honour of Lave, some orange paint for a few people. Now, has anybody on the internet managed to get a random number generator that we can put a number into? Or can we quickly? The minimum is 1. The maximum. How many commanders are in the list, Flossy? You've got the list up. In the total list.
212.
212.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I've got the randomizer here, so I'm going to roll the randomizer and get some numbers out, and somebody's going to look them up for me, and then we're going to take a note, hopefully, Commander Palantir, and we're going to say who gets the orange paint packs as well. So,
Have you got a big giant D212?
I have, yes, that's a space station and a half. So the first commander to get an orange set of paint from the Pilots Federation is commander number 138 in the overall table, who is, I'm scrolling up, it'd be Commander Stephen Usher.
Oh, well done, Stephen.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well done.
Right, so Palantir, have you got that one noted?
I have now. Yes.
Excellent. The next commander is Commander 112. Commander 112 is Trax Tempest.
Oh, I don't know Trax Tempest. It must be one of your lot.
Socrates out.
That's 105. That's 115.
115. What? Not on my... No, you're looking at the wrong table there.
Socrates ectoplasm.
Oh, I'm looking at phase 1. Oh, sorry. I've got it completely...
Oh.
Well, we're going to have to give one to Trax Tempest anyway, because my mistake is my mistake, shall we say. So 115, 112, Socrates ectoplasm.
Oh,
that?
that's good. Socrates
Yeah.
ectoplasm's been trying to get the Hutton record for weeks. That's a nice wee pick-me-up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and add Trax Tempest, because that's my cock-up, looking at the wrong list. Number 19 in the overall table is Commander Aiden, who I understand is lurking in the green room right now.
Uh-huh.
Gets some orange paint and a paint pot.
Nice.
Number 69.
what's
What
on
My
there?
favourite
better number
number.
could you choose for Hutton?
Internet number.
Yes, 69. Who's got that one?
Etanin.
Commander Etanin. Not somebody we know. Not a Hutton trucker, I don't think.
But
Etanin.
good.
How many have we done now? Is that 4 or 3?
That's 5.
No, with my bonus
You
one,
can't
that's 4.
Oh, that's
Four,
4.
yeah.
It's 5 in total.
Yep. So one more. Commander number 35 in the list is...
Oh. Half-breed Rubio.
Oh, there we go. Half-breed Rubio.
That's the half-breed Rubio as well. So those commanders, you have got yourselves orange paintbacks, courtesy of the Pilots Federation, also known as Frontier Developments. We will be in touch to talk about it, but with you. But please do send us an email to itookpart@huttonorbital.com, and we will sort those out for you. Commander Palantir, could you go through the list again?
We have Stephen Usher. Trax Tempest. That's Trax with 3 X's. That's a lot of kisses. Socrates ectoplasm, Aiden, Etanin, and half-breed Rubio.
Congratulations on getting orange paint packs.
Congratulations,
Congratulations to our top commanders in each of the categories for getting lathe paint jobs. And congratulations to Millstone Barn and to the ad man for getting your Hutton mugs. Thank you very much. Hutton is all about PWP. That's what we do.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Yeah, brilliant. Congratulations, everyone.
Well done, everyone.
So we're really long show this evening because of all of this stuff. So GFG 2 rewards are arriving across the pond now. So the gold awards are arriving across the pond.
Yeah,
excellent.
That's not me, you understand? That's the Atlantic.
Yes.
Yep. Our special guest, Jez, do you see the next line in the script there about the thing that's been inserted by the Pilots Federation just today? If you don't, say you don't. Don't worry about it.
No, oh dear, I'm not doing
No, it's
very
fine.
well
No,
here,
it's not a problem. I'm a terrible rotter for picking on people. Memorials, yes. The memorials to fallen commanders have now been inserted into the galaxy as well. And we know we have a few friends in that list as well. There are details on that, but you can now find in Shinrata Desra and a few other systems some memorials to a few fallen commanders.
Do you want the list?
Do I want the list of names?
No, the list of systems.
People of the systems. The 7 systems. Sol, Akanar, Alioth, Shinrata, as you said, Colonia, Acellus Primus, and Dromi.
Yep. So for those of you that have lost a friend and have emailed the Pilots Federation to give a few details and want something, in the galaxy to remember them by, there is now a location. There are many locations you can go and visit to remember them, and rest in peace to those that we've lost. The Hanky Colonia bus is now up and running. The next journey is on the 31st and returning on the 6th. And Hanky is looking for new names for his fleet carrier.
No, he's looking for a name for his new fleet carrier.
Yep.
New fleet carrier.
Yeah.
Carrier,
he's got
carrier
another one.
face.
And
Just one.
so it's been a
carrier,
really long intro to the show and the banter section, but it's well worth it. I think my audio and video are ready for the next little bit. Before I move on to the rest of the show, does anyone have anything else?
No.
No?
Nope.
Don't dare.
We don't dare.
No.
So do I dare push this button and hope that it's the right Galnet?
Yeah.
We would do after
Push
I've
the
done the
button.
intro.
You can
Let me
certainly
do
push it
some
and you can
introing. Let me mention something.
Go on then.
All right. With all this late breaking news we've had today, I do know that Watherspoon and Beetlejuice have had to work extremely hard to get the Galnet News Digest ready in time for us to show it to you here. So just sit back and be amazed just how polished this is, considering.
Now, we're hoping that it works because we only had this arrive minutes ago. So I may have to tweak a few settings. Let's give it a go. Somebody tell me if you can't hear this.
Can't hear what?
I can't hear it.
Can't hear it.
Well, they might be able to hear it.
Yes. If you can hear it in Twitch, let us know. Oh, yeah.
With provisional Odyssey permits ready to be granted on Monday, the Pilots Federation has been busy performing final checks on the starports, outposts and settlements that are to be opened up to its members. These locations must meet strict standards for safety and convenience, and must provide the services commanders have come to expect. We joined one of these inspectors as she checks the facilities at Bradfield Orbital.
We at the Pilots Federation are always looking to expand our members' access to new facilities. We're about to start trialling the Odyssey Walking About permits. But that doesn't mean just walking about on planets. For the first time, our members will be able to stretch their legs on starports, get to meet with the various types they've been speaking to using mission boards, trading chemicals for the first time, have a drink at the bar and watch the ships landing and taking off, being turned into smoking hulks by the possibly slightly overzealous station security. Our visits assess things like access for disabled people, the cleanliness of the facilities, presence of undesirables, and the like. There are a lot of stations, and we have to check every one of them in person. So don't be surprised if it's a while before we're able to open them all up to our commanders for testing. We do it incognito. We're mystery shoppers. That's not as exciting as it sounds. Right, let's have a look, shall we? I'm not expecting too much from somewhere called Bradford Orbital. Commander Thrust lives here, I believe. Stairs. You'd have thought they'd have designed these stations for accessibility. No, a chugger.
If you got the time to lend a hand, I'll pay you for it.
Let's ignore her. She wasn't even looking at us. Gap in the railings there. Someone's going to fall. Apex Travel. Great place, if you want to see the inside of someone else's asp. Oh, what does he want?
I'm looking for someone to do some off-the-books work for me. You interested? Needless to say, this is to be kept strictly between us.
Right. So you're trying to get a Pilots Federation inspector to install malware.
This is everything else you should know, at least everything I can tell you.
Can I just point out how suspicious you're looking? You're fidgeting and blinking rather a lot.
Listen, I've no hell of an opportunity here.
But I don't really want to die quite yet. Thank you.
Visitors are reminded to observe health and safety protocols. Need a weapon upgrading? I've got you covered.
My weapon is perfectly good enough, thank you. I'll just check your stock, if I may. Yes, lots of lovely killing equipment. 2 shades of grey, orange and blue. Fits the corporate branding perfectly. Oh, I wonder if ED Profiler will let us change that. That's Mr. Genomics opposite. The by dead plants. Tragic. Ah, the bar. I could murder a Lavian brandy. Dodgy looking bunch of characters. Oh look, the toast rack. Nice view. Bit chilly. Oh, what plants do we have here? Monstera deliciosa, Sansevieria trifasciata, Asplenum nidus, Hedera. Everything you'd want from a shopping mall.
I've got a morally dubious opportunity if you're interested. This certainly isn't the sort of thing I'd want to sell in my own hands with.
Right, so you want a genetic sample, but you don't want to do it with your own hands. That's not morally dubious. That's disgusting. Oh, I suppose it depends on the rewards. Oh, titanium plating. I've always fancied having them plated.
What precisely did you have in mind?
Pay me a bit more and I'll get the marigolds. Might be a bit messy. Actually, it'll probably be very messy.
Okay, I'll pay a bit more if it guarantees no mess-ups.
I'm not sure he was listening.
If you fail, don't bother coming back.
Well, he seemed a nice man.
Looking for something, Commander?
Look at me when you're talking. I'd like a Lavian brandy, please.
Got something to offload? Have a look. The only thing you won't find here is a discount.
So, how much graphene does a brandy cost? Wonder why they have that big hatch in the floor in front of the bar here. Bet people don't pay their bar tabs. I'd have put a rug over that. Bit more welcoming. Maybe a glitter ball above.
It's a deal.
I have chemicals, circuits and tech.
Anything else?
My brandy?
It's been good doing business with you, Commander.
Oh, well.
I thought it was just a little bit too unpredictable.
Oh, there's some people discussing Yannick's. Wonder if you made another hollow vid. What lovely music. The sound here is lovely. Lovely means
Do you need some work? Because I need some help.
No, I don't need any work, thank you. I'm fully employed. Oh, look, the flying buffet sandwich. Nearly 0G this close to the axis of rotation.
Welcome to Interastra. Take your time.
There's a loose pen on that desk.
Whatever you need, we've got the ship for it. Take all the time you need.
Okie dokie. Take all the time you need, and you start playing the minute waltz. Oh, that's not passive-aggressive at all, is it? Right, I have a Federal Corvette. What ship's a good upgrade from that? Orca? No, too big. Dolphin. That'll do nicely.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No.
I'll be here if you change your mind.
Load new ship, Commander. Funny. Oh, look at all those big hanging screens. They're all playing Starship Troopers. You You'd think they'd put Spaceballs on one of them. Okay, so now I need to check the mission boards. Oh, I do like orange. Lovely new mission board layout. Aegis. They sound nice. Do I fancy killing someone? No. Let's do a salvage mission. Find the Californium in an empty settlement. Yes, that sounds easy. Lots of grills here. Glad I didn't wear my high heel mag boots. Right, off to find my new dolphin. Pass through the scanners, bright yellow lift, lovely industrial style.
Welcome to Federal Space. Bing bong.
Yes, the doors work, no smell of pee. That's nice. Lift music operational. Press the button and we're there already. That was quick. Hangar deck. More steps. Cargo. In the instant loading transfer mechanism. Nice and clean down here. And there's my lovely new dolphin being sprayed with water to keep it alive. Everything seems to be in order. Do my footsteps sound funny in here? Is it just me? Just because there's a ladder doesn't mean you have to use it. Beam me up, Scotty.
Boom.
And off we go. Everything seems to be in order here. Mission accomplished. I think our commanders will be pleasantly surprised by the environment we've arranged for them.
Incoming mission message. Landing gear retracted. Go.
As long as they're not the nitpicky sort who worry about whether the gravity level is right. Right, next station, Hutton Orbital. How far?
That's one starport down. Landing gear retracted. Just another 55,454 more to go.
Isn't it amazing how the galaxy sounds so wonderful? They've really nailed it.
Thank you very much, Commander Beetlejude and Wotherspoon. Incredible as always. We're now going to have Commander Chix's latest edition of the A to Z of Hutton Space. Now, I'm hoping we're not going to get that horrible echo. Oh, nightmare time. This week is the turn of Epsilon Indi. I'm going to blame Meter and Hollow because it's going around so fast. Then we're going to go to Flossy and the CG News. Somebody tell me if I've stuffed this up, please.
Lying about 12 light-years from Sol, Epsilon Indi, as its name suggests, is the fifth brightest star of the southern hemisphere constellation Indus. Known from antiquity, it is in fact a binary system, the second star being a very dim, T-type brown dwarf first spotted in the early 21st century, which itself is orbited by 7 nondescript, dark, icy planets. With 4 planets, including 2 Earth-like worlds orbiting the main K-type star, it is easy to see why Epsilon Indi can be considered the jewel in the crown of Hutton space. The 2 Earth-like worlds, Lee and New Africa, are home to 4 billion people, representing 90% of the population of Hutton space. So in simple terms, 10 times as many of Alvin's subjects live in Epsilon Indi as in the rest of Hutton space put together. The next most populous system is Hill Par Psi, with only 1/40th of Epsilon Indi's population. However, its large population is only one of several attributes that make Epsilon Indi unique in Hutton space. Perhaps the most remarkable is Meteron Hollow, a small solitary satellite which orbits the Earth-like world New Africa in only 1 minute 26 seconds. In order to land on this body, System Custodian, everyone's favourite Scander hooligan, Commander Thomason, offers the following excellent advice.
If you want to land on Mitterrand Hello, sit in the path of the planet and let it must-lock you.
For those wondering why I have my headlights on in daytime, it's because for a brief period during that mercurial 86-second orbit, it is nighttime. Each of the 4 planets has an orbiting station offering agricultural markets. 2 orbit stations, Mansfield Orbiter above Edmonds Rock and Perry Depot orbiting Lee, the innermost of the Earth-like worlds. There are 2 Coriolis stations, Schneider Relay orbiting above New Africa, the other Earth-like world, and London Relay orbiting Allison World, the outermost but still very accessible planet, a smidge under 700 clicks from the jump point. No fewer than 6 surface stations on the 3 landable worlds offer further industrial and military markets. In addition to all these points of interest, Meter on Hollow also features on the itinerary of the Canon Interstellar Research Group science vessel, the Gnosis. First launched in 3303, the Gnosis has retired from its 4-year Alpha Phase fleet carrier mission to seek out harder puzzles and strange civilizations to boldly go where no saga cruise has ever gone before. I'm sorry, but nostalgia isn't what it used to be. The innermost station, Mansfield Orbiter, is the sole source of the famous Indi bourbon, one of Hutton's few rare commodities. Originally used as a medicine to revive those who have suffocated in dust storms, the restorative effects of this potent drink are almost as famous as the hangovers, goes the advertising. This sentiment is notably echoed by one of the foremost chroniclers of the galaxy, a Mr. D. Adams from Sol, in his famous Guides to the Galaxy. What I need is a strong drink and a peer group. Epsilon Indi certainly provides both. Supplies of Indi bourbon were briefly interrupted when Epsilon Indi came under the control of the Epsilon Indi Purple Central faction, and it fell foul of their prohibitionist policies. Matters came to a head in April 3302 when the Pilots Federation, known for their penchant for the odd tipple, launched a collaborative campaign to break the embargo. Very shortly after this, Purple Central were ousted from control by none other than the Hutton Truckers, and booze favoured by many was restored to the galaxy.
It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. And the community goes.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's Community Goals News. Last week we had Operation Orange Peel Part 2, the Lave Station repairs. The repairs were completed by Friday morning. The top 3 places were Antares Fusion, 37,000, Millstone Barn, 23,000, Mark Xanthius, 14,000, well, nearly 15,000.
Hang on a second. We've got a name read out there on the CG News, Flossy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, add Mark Xanthius to the list. Palantir?
Yes?
Are you there?
This
Mark
is for the
Xanthius.
repairs.
Flossy just read Mark Xanthius out, and that's good enough for me. Add that one to the orange. The orange list. Yeah, the orange list. That's fine. Name read out. Orange list. Add Mark Xanthius. I can't say it. Mark's and no, I can't.
Yeah, I copied and pasted. Don't you worry.
Mark's.
Mark
We're just gonna say
Xanthius.
Mark's. But by virtue of Flossy reading you out, you're orange as well. Sorry, Flossy. Carry on.
Okay. Yes. Last week's CGs all finished at 0600 UTC this morning. Medical supplies for federal starport bombing survivors finished just short of Tier 4, with 46 million tonnes collected. The top 75 participants will receive a permanent solar system permit and a fully engineered Size 3 Class 5 overcharged and armoured power plant. The module will be placed in storage at Davis Terminal and into Amper system by the 26th of March. Medical supplies for Imperial starport bombing survivors finished about two-thirds way between Tiers 3 and 4. 39 million tonnes were collected, and the top 75% of participants will receive a permanent Achenar system permit and a fully engineered Size 3 Class A shield generator with thermal and kinetic resistance. The module will be placed in storage at Mackenzie Relay in the Semi-S system by the 26th of March. And medical supplies for Alliance starport bombing survivors finished just short of Tier 3. 23 million tonnes were collected, and the top 75% of participants will receive a permanent Alios system permit and a Lakon SpaceWiz Type 6 transporter. The ship will be delivered and stored at Krylov Ring in the Hebo system by the 26th of March. And there are no community goals this week.
Sorry, Flossy, I'm going to interrupt you again. I've been looking at the list.
Yeah?
Yeah. Commander Palantir?
Yes?
Commander Psykit?
Yeah.
Add to the list.
Do you want to read my commander name out?
Flossy, can you hurry up and finish this, please? Because there's only about 4,000 rows available in this spreadsheet.
Yeah, no, Commander Psykit. Add Commander Psykit to the list. Thank you very much, Commander Psykit, as well. And yes, sorry, that was it. Flossy, carry on.
That's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
Thank you to Flossy. I don't think we're surprised that there won't be any CGs this coming week, as the Pilots Federation are going to have their hands full with legs, as it were. Anyway, let's go over to the Hutton Sports results.
Welcome to the Hutton Sports Report. The Hutton Sports Report is sponsored by the Hutton Helper, the only third-party resource to come with a big bottle of vinegar to counter all the salt. This week we have the following events. The I'm on Xbox, so I'm going to Beagle Point in a massive huff because I can't play the Alpha, Mia Hartness Memorial. The Tears and Snotters because you didn't get something for free cup. The use the money GalTube gave you to buy stuff for your GalTube channel. Commercial Shield. The content creator versus people exploiter Old Firm Derby. The playing the world's saddest tune and the world's smallest violin tournament, first round. And the I started a Go Fuck Yourself campaign for self-important entitled Bellends challenge. In the classified results, calling the WA-ambulance will get you disqualified. There is no return from the salt mines of Kessel, and acting like a dickhead doesn't get you anything, despite what some people think. Now, can we start up the machine, the teletype machine?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I broke the teletype machine crying into it. Go on then.
Right. I'll do the classified result. It's going! It's going! It's going. She's working. Right, so Commander, that's spelt degree symbol, sort of circle and a square kind of thing. A dot, a star, a bigger dot, and a smaller degree symbol, 62. C-Pot, 59. T. Mahone, 62. Jackal, 53. Zed Stormbringer, 993. The Yardman, 2315, 830. Alex Zuno, 1454. Darkbane Fox, 514. Bicarb, 832. Clopster, 832. Bicarb wins in a hollow finish. Clopster's back. Zed Stormbringer, 25,811. The Adman 2315, 22,899. Albion Rovers, 2. Annan Athletic, 3. Cowden Beath, 1. Hearth of Midlothian, 3. Jaws Pantazzi's Rovers, 2. Heybo Hibernian, 2. Lave Brandywine's 1. Dynamo Sol, 2. That's a game that was postponed from last week. Decals for degree symbol, square with a circle in it, dot, star, bigger dot, smaller degree symbol, T Mahone and Z Stormbringer. Please email Hutton Orbital. I took part at huttonorbital.com and arranged to collect your Hutton decal kit, which this week consists of a no thank you email from Frontier and some tear-soaked dreadlocks to use as a brush. We have had 6 Hutton runs again this week from 6 different commanders. Socrates Ectoplasm is still going for it, but not getting any closer. So keep going, Soul Crates. You'll find your mojo. Hardy's record of 1 hour, 22 minutes and 20 seconds still stands. For now. Could you do better? Really? Well then that could be your name on the laser scoreboard in the Hutton studio at Studio 5. Isn't that excellent news? Well, it was when I got it out. All you have to do is go to hut.forthemug.com and download or sign up for the Hutton Helper before heading out for a nice walk under blue skies, visiting planetary settlements and mercilessly gunning down the locals before stealing all of their stuff. Let's face it, anything has to be better than hanging around Galtube sympathy farming 100,000 hardened salt miners. Well, that's it for this week. Back to Studio 5.
Goodness gracious me, I think I just injured myself laughing. Oh, God.
Yeah.
You're going to get me into so much trouble. Anyway, thank you very much to the apology officer. And now, hoping that I'm going to push the right buttons, and shortly before the green room, oh, goodness. It's the Galnet Rares Digest.
Good evening. This is Amelia Hawke, newly promoted reporter for the Galnet Rares Digest. We try the galaxy's rarest and most dangerous trade goods, so you don't have to. With all the recent news about new suits for walking on planet surfaces, I accepted an invitation to Smith Reserve in the LDS 883 system. The orbital sits over a tropical Earth-like planet and houses a very special tailoring facility. From space, as you look down at the planet, the vegetation that covers the surface is pockmarked by gaps, dead spaces as if there's no plants at all. Not in bands or biomes, depending on the topography of the land and local climate conditions, just dotted around the place, as if those areas had been struck recently by meteorites, or were the sites of mysterious alien crop circles. Riding down to the planet aboard a shuttle, I noticed that our pilot skirts these areas as we approach the starport, and despite the rainforest surroundings, it's surprising to see that unlike other similar worlds, birds aren't startled into the air as we land. We're here to see some very special plants, a product of a bizarre quirk of evolution. On Earth, many species have evolved stealth tactics to protect themselves or to be able to sneak up on their prey and devour it. Big cats, strange small insects that pretend to be leaves, butterflies that attempt to look like a pair of scary animal eyes, caterpillars that look like landmines. When I first looked up at this planet in the guidebook, I had assumed that there had been a misprint. But here, on LDS 883, It's not the fauna that camouflages itself. It's the flora. This planet is plagued by beaver. Not just any beaver, but giant beaver. And there are a number of species of tree that have evolved a very special defense against rampaging beaver. They've evolved a special camouflage, able to change their coloring and appearance so as to be almost perfectly invisible. This isn't a transparency, though. They actually change their coloring like a chameleon, blending perfectly into the background. It is this that you can see from space. Huge groves of LDS chameleon trees that are, to all intents and purposes, invisible to the naked eye. Scientists on the planet tell me that the plants still absorb light, all the light that hits them, so perfectly that none is reflected, and instead they have a natural full-spectrum bioluminescence that imitates their surroundings. Due to their ability to absorb light so well, they are in fact some of the best plants in the galaxy at converting light into energy, and as a result can grow to enormous size, dwarfing even the long-extinct giant redwoods of Earth. Giant beavers need large amounts of wood, and if it wasn't for their unique camouflage, these could be reduced to building materials for their lodges in no time. This also explains the lack of bird life on the planet. One minute you're swooping majestically through an apparently empty sky. The next, you've gone beak first into an invisible tree. One of the funniest sights on the planet is seeing the chameleon tree sloth just hanging out casually in midair. And there is a species of flying squirrel that is awfully good at guessing where the next tree is before taking its life into its hands as it leaps with utter faith that it will hit something. Settlers became adept at finding these chameleon trees. In the beginning by walking blindly through the forest until they got a sore face from walking into one. The blossoms from the plants, and yes, it's a giant fruiting tree, can be harvested. And it is from these that the chameleon cloth is made. Initially studied by the military to see whether it could be used for camouflage cloths, well, it turns out that it only works if you, like the tree, stand very still indeed. The chameleon effect takes quite a while to happen. It's massively expensive, as the trees only rarely come into bloom, and even when they do, as you can't actually see them, it's pretty hard to find unless you're out on a very windy day when you can see a strange shimmering in the air as the cells struggle to keep up with the changes. However, chameleon cloth is popular amongst fashion designers and those kinds of people who like going to parties but don't want to be seen at parties. Arrive, make your pleasantries, grab a glass of something, and then go stand at the edge of the room. And no one will notice you. As ever, we get on to the danger. As good as they are at absorbing radiation, light, heat, etc., there is a downside, or more properly, the inside. The heat goes in, but the inside of the garment gets very hot indeed. The chameleon effect only works if you're wearing it in 3 dimensions, front and rear, top and bottom, which means you're fully enclosed, and should you wear it for too long in a hot room, you'll slowly, invisibly, cook to death. The next morning, as they're sweeping up the detritus from the party, someone's going to trip over you, lift one corner of your chameleon cloth onesie, and inside, well, they'll see a very well-done partygoer. Chameleon cloth. Expensive, fashionable, dangerous, and very good at hiding from polar bears in the Arctic. I'm Amelia Hawke, reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest, and my guide has just hauled me 200 feet up one of these trees. I can feel the branch I'm sitting on. I can see the chameleon tree sloth staring at me very slowly with wide eyes, and I'm hoping my guide is just around the other side of the trunk, as between you and me, I have no idea how I'm going to get down again.
Thank you very much, Amelia. I mean, that sounds terrifying. Standing in midair, 200 feet off the ground. You can feel the branch beneath you, but I mean, there's nothing. You can't see anything but the ground.
Can't see a thing, just large beavers.
Yeah, well, they're hunting for big wood.
Yeah, hunting for big wood, but no wood to be seen, just large beaver.
Yeah, I mean these are big beavers as well. I mean these things.
Yeah, huge, massive,
I mean, bigger than rhinos.
Yes, absolutely huge.
So we did notice during the broadcast by the Pilots Federation earlier that the rares were being shown off on screens with actual photos of actual rare goods as well. So you never know, we might have to go back over some of the old broadcasts and get some updated photographs.
That would be cool. That'd be very good. That would be very, very cool.
Well, let's just hope they've been listening to your broadcasts.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Right, it is a Green Room week. We are very late this evening. We've gone on for a long time, but there's exciting stuff to talk about. I noticed there are a few people hanging around in the Green Room. Shall we, rather than going up there, drag them down here?
Quite useful since the Green Room feed hasn't been working all night.
No. Yeah. So if you're in the Green Room at the moment, and there is about a 12-second lag, so I'm going to talk for a second. You may
they
want
also,
to...
Well, they won't know that we're talking if they're in there, will they?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. There's a 12-second lag, so we're going to tell them now. We're going to drag them down here, say hi to them. We'd normally say, hey, everybody take turns, but...
Kick the door in. Just kick the door in and frog march them up to the studio.
I'm going to grab the retired Navy IT one. Hang on a second. Somebody else grab Litho Breaker, and then a third person grab Aiden.
I'll get
Hang on.
Aiden.
Yep,
I got Aiden.
You get Aiden, I'll get Litho. I'll see if I can get Litho Breaker. Right, where are we? Oh, man. Right, Litho Breaker, come on.
You got
Litho
him?
Breaker, you slippery bastard.
You've left the Litho Breaker behind. He's fallen asleep in a corner.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not allowed. I've lost my privileges.
I got him.
Well, that's because you're not allowed to have feet on Monday.
Yeah, you need legs to run the Green Room, don't you?
It's sort of
not the old bitter or anything.
No, it's good that I'm no better. I'm completely over it.
Right. Well, we're just going to hands up, take turns, and then I'm going to pick on Jezz at some point. So Jezz, would you like to interview our first person here as to how their last month has been? Jezz, the first person you're talking to is Commander Palantir.
Commander Banter.
That's me.
How has your month been?
Oh, it's been fine. I haven't been anywhere. Been doing... it's now, 2.5 weeks since I had my first injection, and I still can't pick up Radio 4 any better. So I think it's a waste of time. It's been quiet, not too much. I bought a new shed. There we are. That's how exciting it gets around here. So I'm going to say move on by saying for the mug.
Right, and it's now somebody's turn to talk to me. Hang on a second. We'll go with Commander Chix. Interview me, quick.
Good evening. How have you been? How's your month been?
Not bad. Going for my inoculation tomorrow, by virtue of being
first one.
Carer for the other half, and her being in vulnerable groups and all sorts. So hopefully, I will be able to pick up Radio 4 sometime in the near future. Other than that, looking forward to Monday and Saturday and all sorts of shenanigans.
I think you've been doing a lot of work on voice packs, haven't you?
Yes, HCS voice packs. Got the new Gravity voice pack coming out, which allows you to voice control your commander on foot, or at least talk to your AI on foot. I'm looking forward to having Legion in there as well, who may or may not sound like Michael Dawn and be quite aggressive with his batleth.
For we are many.
Yes, definitely.
I'm going to pretend I know what you're talking about.
Today is a good day to die.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But
tomorrow is a better day to die.
Yeah, I'm looking at those phases, thinking, yeah, I've got all that work to do, and we're going to get it done. And you're going to, one thing, top secret, but I'm allowed to talk about it. We are looking at whether you can actually talk to the NPCs and read those lines out to make them do the next thing. So you speak, then the NPC speaks back. We're looking at whether we can do that, and it's going to work. If it does, it's going to be awesome, because you're going to actually chat with the NPCs instead of click on screens. But that's our mission for Monday, to see whether we can do that and achieve it.
That'd be amazing.
Fancy.
So I'm now going to hand over to Amelia to talk to Commander Aiden. Aiden, have you put away, by the way, just before you talk to him, please put away the helicopter you have next to your desk.
I only have that when I'm visiting my parents.
I
Hello,
Hoover on
Commander
today.
Aiden. How are you, Commander Aiden, and how has your month been?
Fine. I've put in the requisition for a quieter air fan. So when I go and visit my parents, you are not disturbed by the sound of the cooling system on my new laptop.
See, you could have got away with it by saying I'm currently on the Enterprise, and that noise you hear in the background is just the normal operating of the starship.
No. Anyway, I probably would have to say no. That's classified, and I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you, or I can not, or something like I could neither confirm nor deny that is a fan, and that it is something that you don't want to be talking about or asking about.
I wish my ship ran that silently.
Yeah. No, my month has been a month.
Just a month.
Yeah. Nothing really exciting other than I might be when the supplier finally gets supplies me with my laptop, which should have been Monday, it should have been tomorrow, but it's now going to be next week, in theory. Yeah. All I'm doing at the moment.
New laptops, you say?
Yeah.
Nice.
All I'm
Is that
doing
in prep for Odyssey?
Well, that was the theory, but also it's because the laptop is 5 years old.
It's a good reason too.
But no, all I'm doing at the moment is shuttling stuff back and forwards in Slink's Eye to try and top up Alvin's Mercy.
Oh, okay.
So if anybody wants to come along and sell stuff to it, you won't lose out. Come sell stuff to the carrier and then make even more money when it moves into Epsilon Eridani.
Well, you heard it, everyone. You got to go help Aiden sell stuff.
Well, I've got to buy it before I finish. Buy it all before I can flog it in Eridani.
Anything else you've been up to? Are you looking forward to Odyssey?
Yes. Do I occasionally have accusations of having a loud fan?
What?
What?
I think you'll find the word occasional is never used.
Well, it's almost like bears and their lavatorial habits in the woods.
I'm so distracted by the fan, I can't think of any more questions.
But yeah, well, that's a for the mug from me.
For the mug, Aiden.
Right, who have we got next in the list? I think it's Commander Amelia to be interviewed by the apology officer.
Oh, hello, Amelia.
Hello, how are you?
No. Don't play your mind games with me. How are you?
I'm good.
No, he's legless.
Yeah. Oh, right. We're having this.
God.
Just leave it. How's your month been? You been busy?
Yes, actually, I've been really busy. I just started a new job.
Fabulous new job for what I heard.
Yes, I'm working on role-playing games, like things like Traveller. I'm working for Mongoose Publishing now.
Does it even get any better than that?
I know, right? I'm working on games. It's so cool.
Yay!
But incidentally, shameless plug, Mongoose Publishing, all one word.com. Go there, get some role-play games. They are awesome. It's what me, Dave,
I'm just about to start leading you to the airlock. Move on. Move on.
Yeah,
You've had your plug. Move on.
Plug, yeah. No, I've been good. I'm currently stuck on Alvin's paw, the FTM Alvin's poll.
Oh.
But I mean, I'm not stuck there. I can leave anytime I want, really. Rampage is not keeping me hostage. Well, he's not yet.
Has he taken you off to a system far, far away to get you to do mining?
I
You're
don't
too
know.
late your ship.
I haven't managed to log in for the past couple of weeks. So
you could be anywhere by now.
I could be anywhere, really.
Jeez. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And I take it you're going to be involved in the upcoming Odyssey walking around
Yes.
on planets.
Like I said earlier, I never read all this promo stuff or pre-look stuff. I usually just show up on the day and say, "Okay, chaps, what are we doing?"
Yeah.
That's kind of my mentality. I like to be surprised. So I actually have no clue other than what was said here tonight as to what's going on. I will end up showing up, though. I'll definitely be there. And
that's probably the same as most people, if I'm honest.
I think it's good because that way you're pleasantly surprised, no matter what.
Yeah. Turn up.
You're not got great expectations. You know, you haven't been bombarded with all of the media hype. You haven't been, you
the preparation, the work, the slog.
All I will say is, if you see a little metal pineapple in front of you, don't pick it up.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
Pineapple?
Pineapple. Little metal pineapple.
How
you
little?
see that in front of you, do not pick them up. They're not good.
How little?
About the size of a grenade.
Right. So don't pick up pineapple grenades.
Yeah. Or any kind of grenades. Unless you're in a shop and you're buying them.
There was something, Arthur, the nice bald beardy guy, put something on Twitter about the frag grenade, to which I replied, the frag grenade, when all you're going to pull at the party is a pin, you need a frag grenade.
How delightful.
But yeah, other than all that, that's basically it. Gaming, obviously. Gaming lots of games because we have the Hutton Murder Club on Saturday nights.
You do.
And
Hutton Murder Club, and
usually have a group on Friday night as well.
It's a Friday night group now, not a Tuesday.
Well,
night?
we have a group on Friday night, and then we have the Hutton Murder Club on Saturday.
Ah, okay.
So two groups, kind of.
Two groups, yeah.
But yeah, it's all good fun. If anyone wants in on the Murder Club, you're always welcome to drop me a line, and I'll add you to the Facebook chat, and you can join us if you
send
like.
me a poison pen letter, yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, other than that, it's just for the mug from me.
Okay, excellent.
Right, okay, in which case I reckon it's Flossy's turn to speak to the apology officer.
All right, how are you doing, apologies officer?
I'm not bad, how are you?
I'm okay, thanks, but this is about you.
You've turned it around on me again. Yeah, I've had a busy old month. I'm still stuck at home at the minute, but unfortunately, my work do send me things to do, which is good. And I get my COVID jag a week on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
So finally, hitting the 50 years old thing has paid off big time.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I'm up to at the moment. But in game, I have been doing CGs and station evacuations the last few weeks, keeping myself busy with that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I've qualified for my beige Type 6 now, my artisan Type 6. So excited.
Yeah.
And I am now, while you lot are out running about and things like that, as I said earlier, I'm going to head off to Beagle Point in a Type 10.
Oh, that's right. It's called the Huff or something.
Called the Massive Huff.
The Massive Huff.
I'm going to Beagle Point in a Massive Huff. I will see you lot sometime in the future. And that's about it from me. So, for the mug.
Thank you for the mug.
For the mug.
Right, and who's next? It is let's go with Palantir. Interrogate the Chix, quick.
What have you been doing, you capital-bound person, you?
You know what I've been doing.
Yes, I know.
Making videos.
Yes, we've both been doing videos. That's what I forgot to say. I was doing videos when I was doing videos.
Both been extolling the virtues of Hit Film Express 16.
Yes. Yes.
Marvellous. Marvellous.
It is. But I think I keep finding that I think, oh, that would be good. Well, I'll just get that out on pack and that add-on pack. So I think I'm up to about 50 or 60 quid's worth of add-on packs at the moment. For different effects for things. But I looked at the professional one, and that's a bit expensive.
Being a cheap northern bastard, I resist all these things. You see, so.
Oh no, I do anything that will make life easier.
See, C and B in our house has a different meaning. Yeah, so I've been. It was Lave Station, wasn't it? God, it's 2 weeks ago. Yes, and bombarding Epsilon Eridani with vaccinations for the past couple of days.
Well, if there's anybody out there who knows more about... No, I'm not.
Two
I'm not going to go
a day is hard work.
You don't know the meaning of hard work, Jesse.
When I were a lad.
Hard work?
Got to the end of our street.
Fish and chips with peas, luxury.
Gravy.
Wet paper.
In paper.
You used to have to use our hands.
Weren't any ordinary paper either. It was telegraph.
Dear, what are you lot like? It sounds like Rampage is loose in the studio now.
I can't hear any strained groins or anything. It can't be him.
Well, thank you very much, Commander Chix.
Have you got mug it for the muggy?
Yes, moving on.
For the muggy. So it's Jez's turn to quickly quiz Flossy.
Hello, Flossy. How has your month been?
Hello. Hey, it's been quite a busy month, really. I was involved with the fires, rescuing all the passengers from Lave. And then I was going to get involved with the repairs, but they went and finished them off while I was asleep, the inconsiderate people.
Yeah,
by people, she means bastards.
I'm being polite.
Well, I was curious. I mean, if he was doing the rescues out there, how would you rate their health and safety officer?
Oh, well, I didn't think there was one.
Well, otherwise, so close.
Oh yeah.
I'm just hoping he can hear right now. But it was very terrifying seeing that go on our back door or our front door, of course. So, but are you looking forward to your adventures this coming week in the new chapter?
Sorry, I don't think I had my finger on the button then. I'm looking forward to everything except the combat. I don't do combat, and even running around on a planet might not... I don't know, as it's alpha and the character doesn't go forward to the main game, I might risk it a bit, I don't know.
Yeah, we heard you get a bit bloodthirsty in the alphas and betas when there are no consequences.
Yeah, well, if there's no consequences, it's not so bad. I don't.
And if nobody sees you do it, then of course it's not a problem.
On me.
Exactly.
What if a Flossy falls down in the forest and nobody's there to hear it? Oh no, that's yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't mind doing it. It doesn't mind when there are no consequences, like when she's a bomber and can drop things from a height, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, every Saturday night this month, I've been taking part in a special event in another game I play, Aces High, where we reenact various battles from World War II. And this month I've been flying B-24 bombers in late, so that's been quite good. Dropping
you rotter!
Bombs.
Oh dearie me!
I also have to we get attacked, so I have to jump into the guns and try and shoot down the attackers.
So Flossy was a tail gunner enough. Anyway,
you know it's a good month if you can cap it off flying a B-24 bomber. I mean, how do you excuse the pun, but how do you get higher than that?
I don't know. I actually fly a flight of 3 as well.
I can see. I was just trying to think in my own way. How could I beat that? And I can't. It's actually giving me a very difficult time forming cohesive sentences now.
Yeah, I mean, you're just terrified of Flossy now.
Well, I'm terrified of you all because of the things I hear when the mics went live. But I wasn't supposed to talk about that, was I?
Oh,
I'm not.
these ones.
I'm not always like this.
Yes,
I do
are.
try. I do try to help people as well.
Yes, yeah. With the bomber, of course.
Well, I'm not with the bomber, but in Elite.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Flossy's a premier fuel rat as well, so...
I've done about Premier, but I do occasionally do the
just
fuel
lob
rat
the
thing.
odd barrel out the back of your plane as you're flying over, yes.
No, the Premier ones are the ones who are doing it all the time and at the top of the leaderboard.
And in some ways, it's not a bad thing if you was to toss a can of fuel out and it was to crack a cannon, because I myself am a hull seal, so it could be like a guarantee, job security. I think we could kind of run a racket. I think I'm going to have my fins.
You're going to have your membership revoked now.
Yes, I think
possibly.
so.
Well,
yes, I.
Thank you very much.
So,
and
anyway, so for the book, thank you.
for the mug, and it's our very own pocket code breaker, the litho breaker, to be interviewed by who wants next? Amelia.
Hello, little breaker.
Hello, Amelia. How are you?
Wait a minute. This is not about me. I've had my turn. Your turn. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Looking forward to getting a jab in the arm on Sunday night.
Ooh, nice. Very, very nice. So many people are getting their jabs or have had their jabs. I haven't seen a sniff of it yet.
What did I say to you earlier? What, Amelia?
You
Do
said I look like
not
you said I look like an ox.
You're just too young, I think. So you're not going to get any sympathy from the people around here that are all getting old and past it. So.
Oh, watch it!
Quickly change the subject. Are you looking forward to Odyssey?
I certainly am. I'm practicing getting legless tonight, ready to get my legs on Monday. So
nice. All those fitness routines, making sure you look fighting fit for your first night in the legs, so to speak.
My first night tripping over my own feet. If there's a way of doing it, I'll find it.
Are you going to be there on the event thing that's happening?
I certainly intend to be, yeah.
Nice. I'll see you there then.
Great.
So what have you been up to this month? Have you done anything fun?
I've done an awful lot of working at ridiculous hours.
Is it fun work?
Yeah, it kind of is. I enjoy the job, so it's not so bad. I've been building a computer network from 4,500 miles away.
That sounds complicated.
Yeah, and it's every bit as complicated as it sounds. We got some very nice people actually physically on site in Seattle, and they're doing a lovely job of plugging in cables where we ask them to, and they even get the right port most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Yeah. So the team I've been promoted to work on is the global site commissioning team now. We just can't go anywhere.
Yeah,
so
because we're still in lockdown.
So there's 2 of us in England, 1 of us in New York, and 1 of us in France, building a factory in Seattle, making coronavirus cures. It's great. It's great fun.
Jesus, it sounds like. Well, I mean, it's groundbreaking, isn't it? No one's ever done it before, surely.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so. It is fun in its way. It's just tiring because I'm starting the day on English time and ending the day on Seattle time. So
that must be a long day.
At 3 or 4 in the afternoon, they're getting to like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning and getting to the office, and we do another 4 hours with them. So,
oh, Jesus. So you haven't had much time to game?
Not a lot, no.
Oh, that's a shame.
I finally finished Subnautica.
Ooh, well, the first one or the second one?
The first one. Second one's on pre-order. I've got the.
Oh, no spoilers. I'm about halfway.
No spoilers. Okay. No spoilers. Be careful of that.
No spoilers. So you've seen the big thing. You've seen the thing with the stuff.
I've seen the big thing and run away screaming from the big thing with all the stuff. Yeah.
With all the stuff. Yeah. And that there's that other stuff too with all that other and all
the bits you need to collect to make the stuff for the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, for the thing.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, and then you put the thing together and You're all done?
And you've got
The
all,
Galnet.
have you played the second one yet?
No, I've got it, but I'm waiting for the actual release because I want most of the bugs to be ironed out before I start it. So.
2 words. Alien penguins.
Oh, now I'm going to have to download it and start playing. That's just not fair.
It's so cool.
That sounds great.
So when are you going to get some free time to game again?
Hopefully in about a week or so. We're nearly at the end of putting this thing together now, so things are settling back to relatively normal, and I'll get some of my evenings back.
Nice.
At last. And I'm definitely taking a break over Easter, and I'll definitely be gaming then. So I'll see you all on the Saturday, hopefully.
Nice. We'll see you
Apology
Saturday.
officer.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think he's gone quiet. The apology officer's gone quiet.
He must be in his big
In a
soul.
huff.
Yeah.
Well, talking of apology officers, if the apology officer's there,
I've been on mute. I was talking to you. I was on mute, talking to myself.
Apology officer, it's time to say hi to the retired Navy IT1.
Oh, okay. Hello, retired Navy 71.
Good evening, or morning, or afternoon.
It's evening. It's evening here. Where is it? What time is it where you are?
It is 1911 here. So.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. And have you had a busy month then?
I've did my passenger rescues at Lab. So,
oh, fantastic!
I did my part on that, and then I've been flying around with the Aviator in Microsoft and doing my crash landings.
Excellent. Were they intended crash landings, or were they just landings that turned into crashes?
Sometimes Aviator helps, and sometimes he don't.
Oh dear.
I think most of the time it was my fault.
I think if you get the Aviator on board, you blame him for everything.
Well, there's someone else here would know if I had issues with the Aviator, but so far he's been working well.
That's good.
I don't know what you mean.
You'll find he knows exactly what you mean. And what else you been up to? You've been out and about. You've been doing much.
I got my shot around the first of the month, and this weekend I expect you all to have Odyssey up and ready and fixed, because this weekend I will be going out in the world, and I'll be going to a campground and throwing up the tent and getting away from everything for the weekend. And when I come back, either probably on Tuesday, I expect Odyssey to be working perfectly, and I have no issues when I get into it.
So you've had your shot, you've got your legs, and you're heading out into the world.
Yep, that's it.
Awesome, absolutely fantastic.
Yep, and the only other things I've done so far this month is a little bit of selling in Sea of Thieves and riding on horseback and Red Dead. You know, that's all I've done for excitement.
I did see someone the other night actually sitting playing cards in Red Dead.
Yeah, it gets me quite interesting.
I think there's something happens if you listen to the band for 2 minutes or something like that. Something happens.
Well, that, and you can sit there and dance with the band or play music with them too.
Fantastic. I did not know that. I may have to go and have a look at that. Okay, anything else you've been doing?
Nope, that's it for me, for the bug.
For the mug.
Right, and this is a person we haven't heard from for a long time indeed. Go on then, hands up. Who wants to say hi to Waz?
I'll do it.
Come on, about it. There you go. That's a voice I heard.
Yeah.
Hands up on the radio show. Well done.
Well, mate. How the heck are you?
I'm fine, so I get the apology of it. At least it's not a frying pan at my head yet.
Yes. No, of course not. Not even two of them, no.
Oh, I'm doing fine.
That was supposed to be my mute button, I'm sorry.
I'm doing fine. Been playing a little bit of Elite now and then. Was doing it Okay,
Sorry.
who's playing with the explosives?
Sorry. Sorry, I didn't realise there were two of them on there. do carry on, mate.
Yeah, just been doing a bit exploring, coming back to the bubble now again because of the space legs, and I did really like that trailer they did, well, gameplay of the alpha.
Yeah, I think we all did, and I think that today's video I think was really impressive. I was looking at the stream when it was going on, and there are always going to be one or two people who saying that's very good, but what about the bug I reported 17 years ago? Why haven't you fixed that? Or asking for things that have already been told they're not going to get. But generally, I thought that about 98% of the comments were very positive, which is a great thing.
I'm quite happy just to be walking around, and what I saw of that alpha of the dolphin. I mean, if that's what a dolphin looks like, what imagine when you see the bigger ships?
Oh yeah.
Can I just say, Waz, you're coming through lovely and clear, much more clearer than when we last spoke. Have you got a new mic?
I've got a Turtle Beach headset.
Ooh, that sounds classy.
And plus also I've got to push the talk button, so it makes easier things.
Nice. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sorry, no, absolutely. It's nice to talk to old friends.
It is. It's really good.
And I've just been playing Valheim for quite a bit.
I'm not familiar with.
I've heard good things. Viking sandbox survival game, if I'm right.
Yep, you are right there.
I haven't actually played it, but I've heard a lot of good things.
And it's on an early access at the moment for about £15.49.
Ooh.
They've got 75% of the gameplay in and 50% of the content in.
Nice. Is it something you'd recommend?
I like it. It's quite relaxing to me. It's a bit grindy like other games are, but that's about normal.
Is it true that you can build your own base and house and things like that?
Oh, yes, and you can have your friends to help you out if you've done something wrong. Because last night I screwed up a couple of times in the swamp, and thanks to Star, Ice, and Strange helping me out getting my equipment back, and other guys helping me out to get how things set up, they've helped me out a lot.
Nice. Sorry, I'm interrupting again.
Oh dear.
Sorry, Harry, you go ahead.
Just saving me a job. That's all right. No, I'm just writing a novel here while I wait. You know, it's fine. I'm on chapter 7. It's fine. So,
but I'm coming back to the bubble for now in my Anaconda ship because I just can't make the trip out to Beagle Point at this time.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It's a bit of a personal trip as well. It needs to be done, but I need that ship where I want it to be.
It's nice, I think, when the game gives you the opportunity to do that kind of thing that makes something meaningful for yourself, not just part of grinding or something like that. I think it's like when people meet up and do a tribute to a fallen comrade, that kind of thing. When
it is one of those things.
Mm. Then it's for very, very important.
It's for Commander Blackie. But with the space legs coming up, I bet we're going to see a few people on Lavon's bar, aren't we?
Well, or under it.
That too. And I've had my first part of the jab, and I get my next part next month.
Oh, that's nice. I've still got just over 2 months to go for mine, but yeah, brilliant. And I think things are looking up. As Churchill said, you know, this isn't the end. This is not the beginning, but it is the beginning of the end. No, the end of the beginning. Oh, bollocks. He didn't say that at all.
I know.
And it was difficult because I was there and I heard him. So, you know.
And in the dark, and in another saying of Churchill, in your darkest hour.
Yeah, it's time to put on the light. No, that's not what he said.
Churchill said something years ago. We're not really sure what it was.
Yeah,
it was something. It was very prominent and important.
He said a number of things, actually, believe it or not.
It was clearly very profound. Yes,
he had a bilateral lisp as well.
Well, anyway, look, Waz, obviously for me too, it's an absolute pleasure to have you back here in the green room. We haven't spoken to you in absolutely ages, and we're really, really glad that you're well and stuff is good as well. On
a personal note, I think Waz sounds, you sound like you're on the up.
Waz. Oh yes, I've had my long fight. I've got some medication that helps me if I need it.
You do sound.
Chirpier.
Very, very chilled.
Yes. And yes, it's difficult for us to pick words, but if you pick that one, I completely agree with it.
Almost zen-like.
Yep, and of course, Waz, you always know where we are as well. Right, it's the last person in the green room.
Bleeding Glade, yes.
So, Waz, do you have any more before we move on just to say hello to our final guest?
No, that's for me. Mug.
Excellent. Jez.
Hello.
It falls to me just to say, how on earth has your month been? Obviously, you weren't here last month in the green room, but how has your elite experience been in the last 4 weeks, and how much are you looking forward to next week?
It's been frightfully busy the last month. I have had my second jab because I'm in a carer's role, and my goodness, if you haven't had your second one, that one is quite... you're going to need a couple of days, most people, for that, so that's something to look forward to. But in Elite, we've been working very hard with my dear partner, Boss Lady Bean. She's been going from strength to strength, and in Elite,
go on, shameless plug. Go on then, plug the stream. Where do we find it?
It's on the internet.
On the internet. What do we search for when we go to the internet?
Oh, on the Twitch, the Boss Lady B. It's all one word. Sorry, I didn't mean to take an opportunity to do the horrible self-promotion thing.
No, seriously, it's expected, and we like it. So,
shameless plug.
This is all about community and about sort of supporting each other and all sorts. So, please do plug as hard as you can. This is your opportunity right now to go plug mad.
Well, okay. Well, seems as that's allowed, and of course we've had our fourth episode of System Chat Live go up, and we're over 500 for our first 4 episodes, which is quite nice, really, because we wasn't expecting that for about 15 episodes. So
that's good. And there was, is there a venture? I mean, you and I were talking privately, separately about another venture that you wanted a few recordings for.
Yes, part of that is the Desert Planet Discs, which is in no way a rip-off of Desert Island Discs, where our guests will come on and we ask them what their favourite CDs would be that they take with them if they was to be stranded on a desert planet.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, there are a few sort of adverts we put out there. It's up to you. Are you premiering these things, or are you up for a sort of sneaky preview here on the show?
I don't have them lined up because it's on the other
funnily enough, somebody else might do.
Oh, does anybody? Far be it for me to be prepared for anything tonight. You may have gathered.
Yeah, see, it takes a lot of practice to make this show sound this shabby, but it's up to you. I didn't want to sort of steal your thunder, but a certain character or two might have recorded a few adverts for you, and it's a case of, are you happy for us to play an advert for your Desert Planet discs?
Oh, I would be thrilled. Be thrilled.
I'm going to push this button. I'm hoping it works. Give me.
Oh, dessert. I do like a good dessert. Can't beat the sherry trifle. Or maybe just a decent dessert wine. Oh, bother. I blame my double vision. One too many S's in there. Dessert it is then. Desert Planet Discs. Sounds spicy.
It does sound spicy, doesn't it? I feel I need to end that. This is filmed in front of a live studio audience. It's kind of that.
It does
that
have
music,
that
isn't
feel
it?
to it, doesn't it? Yes. There should be a round of applause at that point, and whooping from the audience.
But yes, many thanks to whomever, of course, whomever helped make that reality.
Oh, Cecil is somewhere between Beagle Point and the Bubble. I think he's stuck on one of the fleet carriers at the moment, going around the galaxy, sending things in. But all the best with that venture, and please do, feel free to share it. I mean, obviously on the Hutton Facebook page, our Discord channel, content creators and all the stuff they do is awesome, and we love it. And please do share it. And it was a sad day when we had to sort of hang up our music. I mean, Amelia will agree with me on this one. We used to do music, 5 tunes every single week during the show to a theme. Litho Breaker was guessing them every single week. And when we had to hang that up because of Twitch and things, it was a bit of a sad day.
It's a little sad, but necessary.
It made things very difficult
Yeah.
to broadcast too, like mentally. Not being able to play the music.
Oh yeah, we loved it, and of course there was always that session before the show when we go through and listen to some tunes, and I mean, Palantir and I would go through it, so trying to find tunes to a theme, and I do miss that, but we understand why we can't do it. The radio station, of course, 24 hours a day on Hutton Orbital Radio does play music, and we still put new music up there, but we do miss doing it on the show a little bit. So we're glad if you're doing it and you're putting them out there, please do share it because we love music.
I certainly will, but. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very ambitious, and how we host it is anybody's guess at this point. But before I sign off, some people have asked me actually during PMs during the show if I'm doing my quote-unquote Beagle Point thing. Well, last year I took a Sidewinder with largely stock modules, no engineering or Guardian stuff, all stock cores, and went to Colonia. It took about 4 months and lots of regret, and because I hated that experience so much, I'm doing the same conditions going out to Beagle Point, or at least as far as I can until I have to catch a taxi over the last little bit on a fleet carrier. But yeah, we won't be talking about me finishing that for another 2 DLCs, I shouldn't imagine.
I'll see you out there.
Hopefully you got plenty of pot noodles with you.
And chocolate oranges, I mean.
But not melted ones. Don't hold them in your hand.
No, at this point it's kind of like I'm wearing like delicious leg wax, but I think at that point it's best for me to say for the mug.
for the mug. Go on then, one last plug for the address of where we can find more of your work.
Yes. Mainly just at the moment it's www.systemchat.live. I try to do that like a video, like the radios do. .live,
Systemchat.live. Yes. So yes. Yeah, do go and pop in there, everybody, and take a look at that. And
okay, Jez, this way to the airlock. Come on.
Apologies. No apologies necessary. Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Obviously, we do the green room thing once a month. So the next one, Commander Palantir, is at the end of April. What date do we have for that one? We've got what date we got booked in?
And I'm going to have a look at that.
29th?
It's 29th.
Yes.
Oh, and look at that! Isn't that a wonderful coincidence? You're on button pushing duty that day as well.
Oh, it's me again. Lovely, seamless. Amelia, give me a seamless quick.
That's
seamless.
That's only because you swapped with me last week.
I know. If I hadn't done that, I'd been fine.
Yeah.
Okay, well, look, thank you very much to the radio team. Obviously, to Amelia, the apology officer, to Commander Palantir, to Flossy, to our guest Jez, to the writing team, to the people who run the internet so it didn't fall over, and of course to our guest this evening, to Waz, to the Litho Breaker, who hasn't had to guess anything for an awful long time, to Commander Aiden, who is going to get a new mic, and we're really sorry for taking the mickey a little bit, Commander Aiden.
Well,
very little bit.
A little bit. And of course to Commander Chix for the video. This show is going to be uploaded to YouTube at some point in the next 24 hours. It's quite late because it's been one of those end of the month shows and there's lots of exciting stuff. Commander Palantir, you've got a few uploads between now and next Thursday?
Oh, yes. Yeah, well, we've certainly got that tonight's A to Z of Hutton Space will be going up, and as a separate upload after this one, and I'll see if I've got time to do another one of the Galnet Food Digest remasters.
Yes, so if you have missed out on some of the earlier ones of Amelia's wonderful tasting sessions, then you can go to the Hutton YouTube page, which is youtube.com/c/Hutton Orbital. It's a thing. Just search for Hutton Orbital Radio or Hutton Orbital Truckers.
youtube.com/c/Hutton Orbital Truckers.
That's the one. I'll just search for us. You'll find it.
Yeah.
And there are past episodes of this show, but also some of the little short bits that we do. Please also do tune in to the Galnet News Digest during the week. It's not just a Thursday thing, it's a Tuesday thing with live radio, and it is during the week when Commander Wotherspoon, the Muse, takes him, and Beetlejude, of course. Other than that, it remains for us to say one simple thing.
For the mug!
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everybody's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?
Well, that went well.
Journey too long, or cargo too small. Profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading all the teen out to the brim with the rest for the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, everybody sing the trucker song. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Skibble lies the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin out the frame, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody out. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the more, for the more, for the more. You know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. So give me a large path that I can land on, and I'll give you cargo and sing you my song. No point 22 light years to go, cruising to no journey too long, no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud, loud. You don't even care. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Truckers song.